pew 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 pew
Pew.
What's up, guys? There was a lot of pews. But sometimes Bobby lets us go, and he let us go, and we can't run out of breath, or else he's never gonna let us go again. You know?
Yeah, I thought Pat was going into a song, so I let it go a little longer, but then it just was not.
I went through 3 different styles of pews. I was changing it up today. Real jazzy of me. It was just in and out of different styles.
It was. I always feel like Bobby is sometimes every now and then wants to be like the dad that just gets the kid to smoke a whole pack of cigarettes, so you get over it. He's like, if I just let him pew for 10 minutes, I could walk away, let them pew themselves to death, and then they'll never I won't have to go through this every Wednesday. I'll be good.
That's probably what he should do.
We'll probably keep doing it still because we're obnoxious.
One of these days, he should just stand up and walk away from the camera while we're pewing. See how long we go.
I like when somebody finds the podcast for the first time. Welcome, if you are that said person.
Hello.
But when somebody finds the podcast the first time, what do y'all do? Pews every single time? Oh yeah, why? And they're like, why? I'm like, because on episode 226 we said 226, and then pew 6 somehow, and then we just never stopped doing that. So there's nothing weird about it. There's nothing specific. There's nothing crazy about why we do pews. It's just because we one time did it, and we're like, no, this is normal, and that's how our brains work.
Because Mama didn't raise no quitter. That's why.
Exactly. That dedication is what it is, and loyalty, guys, to you guys. It's gravy day. Past Gravy, episode 379. Pat, Alex, and Bobby jokes back again. I brought in something that I was gonna bring it up last week as my opening thought or whatever, but I forgot it because you guys wonderfully brought in some stuff. But earwax is what I want to talk about because I don't get how it works. I have these AirPod Pros that kind of go in my ear, not to brag or anything, but they go in my ear. And so whenever I take it out, a couple times a week, I'll take it out and there's just earwax all up on it. And other times there's nothing. And I use Q-tips probably 3-4 times a week to try and clean out the old ears after I get out of the shower.
That seems like a lot.
I don't know. I don't like having wet inner ears, and then I like having waxy-less ears. Now that I'm especially having to see it with the headphones all the time, I feel like I pay more attention to it. But how do you what is there something that you do that makes more earwax? Is there a way to cut down on the amount of earwax you have? Is it bad if you have too much earwax? Can you really go deaf if you have a bunch earwax blockage?
Well, I mean, my ear one time did get completely blocked off by earwax, and
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I had to go to the doctor, and they had to it's basically a squirt gun, they used to just spray spray cleaning materials onto a table to wipe it down. One of those, not a super soaker, but they just they put bottle. That's exactly what it was.
They use Windex is what.
And they set it to the jet stream instead of the spray, and they basically just put that in my ear with a little cup underneath it, and just shot that into my ear with powerful streams to break up the blockage. And I felt like an idiot that I had to go to the doctor to have that done. I was sorry, Mom. I cost you money for nothing. That was dumb.
I hope our insurance is good.
I actually have a theory on this now that you bring it up. So I know the purpose of earwax is to kind of catch dust and particles and shit like that to help keep your ears actually clean.
It's the
that's
hairs
kind of what
in
it
your
does.
nostrils.
Yeah. So maybe because you constantly are putting stuff in and out of your ears, headphones and earbuds and stuff like that, you do it a lot throughout the day, I guess just with what you do for a job. I know some of your headphones just sit over the top, but you use those earbuds a lot. I feel like doing that more and more probably causes your body to create more earwax because it's dude, there's shit going in and out of these ears. I got to protect them.
I guess that could make sense.
Because I use Q-tips maybe once a week.
I know, and did you know that Q-tips? You're not there's a thing that you're
everyone knows you're not supposed
to
do that. Well, you know what? That's what.
But what did they make Q-tips for? That's what they made them for. Okay.
Belly button lint, maybe.
No.
What else could it be for?
When I was in high school, if you bought a fake ID, you had to where we bought them, it said not government issued, not legal, and you would just go buy nail polish remover and get a Q-tip, a thing of Q-tips, and you would, or cotton ball, I guess, and you would then just rub the ink on the license thing off until it looked like it was a real license. So that is the only other time I've ever used a Q-tip for stuff. But I know that you can use it to put Neosporin on stuff. and other little things like that. But just like, it's like they were made to like get earwax out of your ears, right?
Yes.
Like nobody's fooling us when they say like somebody just got hurt and they're like, actually, that's not what they're for now.
Like they probably were used for that for like 60 years before someone was like, actually, this is bad. And the whole Q-tip community was like, guys, we got to pivot. We got to come up with some other bullshit that people can use these for. Because if people stop, we're out of a job.
Right. And they're like, no, we still need to make it available for them. But like, they just can't use it for what we're like, what it really is for.
Yeah, they're like covering the bases, like the McDonald's caution hot coffee thing.
Right. Or it's like, well, yeah, man, it's coffee. I wouldn't imagine coffee would typically. I guess there's like cold brew coffee now is a big thing. So that lady was ahead of her time. Really ahead
Caution,
of her time.
cold.
Well, I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I mean, they were serving their coffee at like 200 and some degrees.
Yeah,
so it was ridiculously hot. Coffee doesn't need to be that hot.
Says who?
Says it can give you 3rd-degree fucking burns.
Yeah, if you spill it.
That's like saying hot chocolate doesn't need to be hot.
Yeah, Pat.
Okay, like 120
you never said
degrees.
How hot you want it? I want it extremely hot.
Plenty
and if
hot.
it says hot, I'd like it as hot as possible.
I mean, you're just a fucking psycho. I don't want to have
Right
to have my
boiling
coffee
lava
sit
hot.
for 25 minutes before I can drink it. That's insane.
That is like I sometimes in my Keurigs, I have the like my to-go cups I'll take to work. I have a little like you have to like pop open the little top thing to kind of let it air out. And sometimes I forget and I'm like, fuck. And the other day I was going to play soccer and I made tea because I wasn't feeling coffee, I guess. But then I forgot to open that. And like, as I was like about to turn to get ready to go, like to get out of my car, I was like, oh, let me just like chug this. And then I hadn't opened any of it. So it was still like boiling hot. And I was like, well, there goes that. And I just poured it all out.
Oh, no, I straight up.
Just water.
If I am having a cup, I'll set the cup to make. Then I'll like go and brush my teeth, then get dressed, then I get my coffee. So it's already sitting for like 5 minutes. So I don't burn myself because I 100% will because I don't know how to take sips of things.
I'm a child and I don't know how to wait.
No, I don't. I drink everything I have very quickly.
Got it right out of the microwave, bit it. It was like, it's hot. Oh, hey, Alex, you just got it out of the microwave. I do it all the time.
Pizza rolls? Pizza rolls, it's impossible to wait.
Well, I guess that, like, yeah, pizza rolls are their own thing, but just I am the dumbest person in the world about like, hey, that's hot. You just got that out of a very hot thing. Stop doing that. I almost always am like about to grab a pot. Like if I get anything out of the oven, I'm like about to do it barehanded. I'm like, no, don't. It's hot. Luckily, the oven, you can kind of feel the heat, and you're like, no.
Dude, I still do it with coffee.
Get
like,
the oven.
When it's done, right away, if I'm next to it, I'll pick it up and I'll look at it and go, this is going to be really hot. I shouldn't take a sip. And I'm like, well, I bet I can still take a little sip. And like, I put it to my lips. I'm like, yep, that I have no feeling in that part of my lip for the next 25 minutes now. Yep. Because it was very hot and I'm dumb.
But is that just like, is it because we're dumb that we just never learn about it? Or is it just like, you're always just like, I want this thing. I want the reward. It's like, are we the mice that like
partial
just keep
dumb,
getting shocked for the cheese?
But it's also just stubbornness. Because I know I'm a very stubborn person, but also like, I'm dumb and stubborn and overly confident in myself. So like immediately my brain will be like, I know I shouldn't do this, but then the stubborn kicks in but I want to do this. And then the confidence comes in because I'm like, because nothing can hurt me because I'm fucking awesome and I'm the man. And then I burn my lips for the 3rd time that week. And then it just recycles. It's
going to always happen. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm trying to train myself to like let the coffee sit for like 5 minutes.
Well, it seems like you have a plan at least.
Yeah. Trying to change, just not doing a great job at it.
Not doing great. Did anybody else bring in any other fun topics like that? Or should we just get right into things? I don't know. I feel like we got to have something to bridge the gap. I believe it was Daniel Garay from the Weekly D podcast. He said, because I wanted to call it, I was like, we got to come up with the name of our pre-comeback kid segment. And he said the pre-cum segment. That's our pre-cum for the week. Right. Yeah. That's the pre-cum segment. So I don't know if that name's going to stick, but for now we're going to just, it's loosely titled the pre-cum segment. What we I don't know if we can
have a segment that Bobby won't say.
No, because it's like before your comeback kidding.
I would maybe just call it the intro segment. This is our intro segment.
Nope. Pre-cum.
It's the pre-cum segment.
It's a pre-segment.
because they don't know what like it's before. They just know pre means before something, but they're like, is that pre answers? That like we have all kinds of segments, Bobby.
It's because it's the early segment.
It's the pre-cum segment.
That segment's just there a little bit early.
Yeah, it's like it didn't mean it could have been another segment, but it started a little too quick.
It can get the job done,
but
it's not
before we would have maybe wanted it to make it to a segment.
It can get the job done, but it's not the main event, you know.
That's not the star.
It just it gets us going a little bit, but it's not the main splash, you know.
Exactly. You get it, right?
Yeah, I think I get it.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just making sure.
You guys use enough metaphors for me to get it.
It'll get your beak wet, but it's not.
No, there's more.
There's lots more. There's many, many more. Actually.
No, I didn't have a second part of that one. I just really wanted to say it'll get your beak wet.
That is fun. That's a fun saying. I'm glad you did say that. All right, moving on. Let's get to the Comeback Kid segment. We don't have any ads to read before that one, but here we go. This is where we shoehorn what is back in the news just because we want to talk about it.
It's the Comeback Kid. The Comeback Kid of the week. The Comeback Kid of the week. Bitch.
Our first Comeback Kid this week is the Christmas Spooktacular. Ooh, yeah. Coronavirus was like, hey, we're going to try and fuck up 2020 and probably ruin the Christmas Spooktacular. Think again, Corona. Think again. Knock on wood, though. Everybody knock on wood right now because, you know, I know how things sometimes can work. So right now we have a socially distanced Christmas Spooktacular, the 7th annual Pass the Gravy podcast, Christmas Spooktacular, going down for the 3rd consecutive year at Southern Star Brewing Company. This time, for the first time ever, it will be a day event. It will be an all-day thing. It'll be an afternoon podcast. Then we have 3 musical acts. We've got Santa Claus coming at 6 o'clock. It's a whole goddamn day of Pass the Gravy and Co. It's going to be a ton of fun. Saturday, December 19th out at Southern Star Brewing Company. I think it's going to start at like, we're going to probably do the podcast at like 1:30, maybe 2, depending on what's going on. We don't have the times yet. But then we have, who we got? We got High Dive. We've had them on the podcast before. Kyle usually comes out and he'll engineer some stuff, but they're going to play a set. Then we got Dizzy Moore, Ian from Hold On Hollywood. That's his new DJ gig he's working right now. And then we got Winston Cook from last year's Christmas Spooktacular. 3 musical acts and Santa. Who wouldn't want to come to this? We got the best beer in the world, your favorite podcast, Santa, and live music. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be socially distanced. You got to have, like, we were up there this weekend, Pat. We were talking to Keith about all this stuff. And you got to wear the masks inside. Everything was nice. They give you the single-use cups. Everybody was super cool about, you know, they'll remind you to put the mask on if you don't have the mask on and you're inside. And then as long as you're spread out, the mask can come off when you're outside out on the patio and you're sitting at your tables with your people. You don't have to have the mask on. But when you go up to the bar, you're waiting in line, you throw the mask back up on. It's pretty awesome. And I promise you, I have never been this excited for a Pass the Gravy event. This is like the one we're going to get to do this year. So I'm pretty stoked about it. It's the week before Christmas, Saturday, December 19th up at Southern Star Brewing Company, 3525 North Fraser Street in Conroe. Mark your calendars because it's going to be, as Pat would say, a great time.
It's going to be sad not being able to sit in Santa's lap, though.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe like you have to wear like a sack to like.
And not being able to give people hugs.
Socially distant
responsible.
Hugs. Socially distant hugs, though. We're still going to have the Christmas movie bracket. We're going to have all kinds of awesome stuff.
You do get to give people air fives, and air fives are awesome.
Yep. And then
like your cross room, be like, whoosh. You get to make a sound effect for
Gravy Award. We're going to see all who can win the Gravies Awards. We're going to have to give nominations before too long, I guess. And then I guess with every Gravy Award, we'll just give away a little mini thing of hand sanitizer because we have to kind of touch it. Or we'll just wear gloves. I don't know. Ooh,
maybe the hand
Stanley
sanitizer.
Cup gloves.
Maybe the hand sanitizer is the trophy this year. That's lame. That's lame.
It's a gold.
That's cheap.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Spray paint them?
Cut that part out, Bobby Jokes. Cut that part out. We just spray paint
Sidebar. Guys, stop listening. We're having a sidebar.
You guys are attorneys, attorney-client privilege. You cannot repeat this. So like, yeah, we just like get some like hand sanitizer, just spray paint it. Boom. It's a Gravies Award. Do that. We're doing that. Okay. All right, cool. So we have our trophies idea. It's gonna be great. You guys are gonna love it. And Saturday, December 19th, Southern Stripe Brewing Company. We're gonna have the daytime pod. Then we're gonna go into the live music, and then Santa. We always felt like we were talking to Keith about how like I feel like when it's on Fridays. Lately, it's been like since it's up in Conroe. Sometimes people are like, "Well, I had to get off of work, then I had to drive. I didn't have the time. I couldn't have done it on a Friday because it was like so quick between when I get off and whatever." And on Saturday, we can hang out with you guys afterwards too. On the Friday night ones, it was like by the time the podcast was over and we had Winston Cook or High Dive play for us, then we were all packing up and getting ready to go. So we didn't get to hang out with you guys either. Like we get to hang with you guys socially distanced, but like we're gonna be able to chill. And Pat was up there. We like as long as we got the masks on, we're cool to hang out. And it's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to this. Saturday, December 19th. Mark your calendars for the 7th annual Christmas Spooktacular. So that's a comeback kid. Then the other comeback kid I got down for this week right now is curses. Because boy, oh boy, may we have gotten ourselves into a pickle. I don't think I even recognize.
I fucking hate you so much.
The power of my curses. I did curse the Astros. That worked. I also realized this week I could lift curses temporarily because I lifted the Kyler curse against the Cowboys, and I did that in the second quarter, so he started going off in the second quarter. He didn't look great in the first. Then I re-cursed him, so Kyler's cursed again. We were watching West Ham. West Ham falls down in like the first 16 minutes to Tottenham on Sunday. It was 3-0, and my buddy Chris was like, "Hey, man, have you thought about cursing Tottenham?" So I was like, all right, do a little curse their way. Then in the 82nd minute, West Ham scores their first goal. So with like 12 minutes-ish left in the game, they were down 3-0. No team with that amount of time, like with that little time left, has ever overcome a 3-0 deficit. West Ham scored 3 goals, tied the fucking game. So Tottenham was cursed. Like, is this dangerous that I have this power? Like I didn't expect am I like in Harry Potter the wizard that just doesn't recognize his strength yet? Like, do I have to learn how to hone it in, or what? Should I be concerned, guys?
I'm not talking to you. I'm so mad. Bobby, don't talk to me.
You kind of have to talk to me.
No.
You have to.
No, Bobby. I know he hurt you more than anyone.
You guys hurt me. The Astros curse was a response to the rudeness that was shown to me by others. I'm sorry to everyone that I had to offend. And I've lifted the Astros curse. This is me officially telling you guys, the Astros curse lifted. They can win again. Okay? See? We're cool now. I've lifted the curse. I've learned
your curse hurt me. I'm not sure if I'll be able to recover anytime soon.
But
every time I hear it,
those memes hurt me.
They're memes. You're making me want to use the term that I swore off last week. We're not doing that anymore. No, we're not doing politically. I wanted to call you a snowflake for being hurt at memes, but we're not doing that anymore.
You used the word.
No. I said I wanted to.
Bobby, cut that part out. Bobby, bleep that out.
No, honestly, the first thing that came to my mind after the Astros got that last out and were eliminated was the scene from Semi-Pro, the Will Ferrell movie, where they say they want to let the other guy be the head coach, and he just looks at them completely hurt and goes, "You motherfucking cocksucker." It's the first thing that popped in my head because that's how I felt about you. I was very angry. I'm still angry.
I'm just, like, are these powers too strong? I didn't think that I would be able to just throw so many curses out and have them work, and they did.
Curse yourself.
Got a little curse necklace over here.
You're messing around with the dark arts, and eventually it's going to bite you in the ass.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think we just lay low for a little bit. Yeah, lay low for a little bit right now. I try not to throw out too many curses.
You're messing with powers you don't understand.
What is becoming a problem is, like, when stuff's making me mad, I'm like, do I just curse it? Like, do I just throw a curse on that bad boy? Like is this like, that's how I can get retaliation on anything now, is just throw out a curse. And it's like, I can't. Just because this guy cut me off in traffic doesn't mean I should curse him. I don't know the power, like the strength of my own power. But now I'm just thinking about cursing whatever it is.
You hear it all the
Anything that
time.
upsets me.
It's the famous quote. The famous quote: "With great power comes great responsibility."
I gotta lay low with this curse power right now.
I just pictured
I keep it on Kyler. I think we got to keep it on Tottenham, right? Fuck Tottenham. Sure. They're anti-West Ham. We're America's West Ham podcast. So yeah, we got like Tottenham. Fuck you. You're still cursed. But like,
I'm just picturing you and Emma like arguing over who has to do the dishes, and you just look at her and go, "Curse, curse until you do it."
She's like, "Fuck, damn it, not now." That is seriously what I'm thinking about lately. Like, I just like when I get frustrated with stuff, I'm like, curse it.
You could start a business with this. We know our buddy Raheel hates doing the dishes. If you could get him to outsource your curse to his wife if she doesn't do the dishes, and then
I got to find out like what the laws
you're freeing
are,
up all of his time.
Rules. Like, we need to have a witch or a wizard on the podcast. I thought like this would be a Harry Potter situation in which an owl would show up to my apartment and tell me I've been accepted to some sort of wizarding school.
Oh, you don't want an owl. Owls can get actually pretty big and pretty mean, and they could pick up Wheezy, so you don't want an owl.
No, but they just bring me stuff from like the wizarding world. They bring me notifications.
But that's not real.
Not to keep.
That's not real.
But are we sure though?
Because wizarding isn't real.
You as a muggle yourself, you wouldn't understand.
Curses are real.
Able to see the wizarding things that I can see.
Now, curses are real. Magic is not.
I would argue that it might be.
No, I can definitively say it's not because voodoo is real. Voodoo is like more in line with curses. Voodoo is like a form of
magic.
No, it's superstition.
It's also magic.
Superstition and curses and sports all go together. Magic is just like, oh, I'm a little wizard boy with a scar and I ride on brooms. No, that's not real.
Curses are like, I will end your team's season because you memed at me.
Exactly. Your team's curses and sports go hand in hand together, as does superstition.
Kyler Murray, I will fuck you over because you were a dick to me for 30 seconds at an XFL thing. But also, let me lift it because
you
I
were
want you to beat
tall.
I was too tall. He was looking up at me. He was technically because I was in the outfield at the old Rangers Stadium, and he had to look up to me to shake his head no. So really, I am probably taller than Kyler Murray, and if not now, I was at that point.
Oh, I know for a fact that I am.
Yeah. So
I could definitely be an NFL quarterback.
In general, like curses are back, and I'm gonna try and use my great power with responsibility, but I can't make any guarantees. I'm going to be honest with you. It's very likely that I'm going to get upset with something and then just curse it. Probably within the end of this show. That's very likely that will happen. I can't guarantee.
I'd say it's more than likely.
Nah, and I'm just itching to curse something, honestly. So try not to make me mad. Try not to make me mad. And no, I don't think I can sell it. I don't think I can get paid to curse things. I just don't think it works unless I, in my heart, curse it.
You know what? I want to curse the Giants.
You can't curse. Nobody else can curse. I got that. I already cornered that market. I want to curse them to get the 4th overall pick so that they can't get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. I don't want Trevor Lawrence. I have Daniel Jones, so joke's on you.
Or that guy out of
you don't even remember his name. He's not that great. Doesn't matter.
His name isn't Fumble McFumbleson like you guys have.
Nope. 0 fumbles last week. So
yeah, it was a record week for him.
It's a new year. It's a new year. We're gonna talk about the Giants later, buddy. We're gonna talk about the Giants later. But you know what? I'm the one with the curse powers. You have none. All right.
I felt like my team was cursed this week.
Moving on. Oh, this is a fun one. Robert, you want to do this one?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So apparently, jerking off is a comeback kid.
You said it.
Jeffrey Toobin, he's legal analyst for CNN, I think.
Analyst, yeah.
Yeah, he got in trouble for diddling himself while on a Zoom call. Apparently, he thought the camera wasn't working. I don't know why you even do that when you're working, or even if you're on a Zoom call.
That's
regardless if your camera is on or off.
His defense was, I thought my camera was off. Dude, why are you jacking off all my coworkers in the first place?
Like, does that not make you wonder?
I see underneath my desk. That makes it.
Every conference call like that's just on the phone, or people just jerking off the whole time? Like, is that what happens now? Now I just assume that anytime I can't see who I'm talking to, they're jerking off. I assume that every phone conversation, whoever I'm talking to is jerking off. See, now Pat's moved his camera. If you're watching the video version, I'm assuming Pat's jerking off. But then, like I guess there's
I didn't
people
just
that, like,
spit in
get
my hand.
off.
I did not just spit in my hand. Don't worry about it.
There's people that I feel like get off on like knowing that they're doing it in like a close vicinity to people, or knowing that, like, I feel like the risk factor of getting caught is like a big like turn on to people. But it's like, what the fuck? And I don't think he was just like, I bet if I show my dick, they're gonna like it. I do think it was straight up like accidental. So I don't think he should be like Me Too'd or anything, like where it was like sexual harassment. I just think that, like, yeah, you should get shamed and made fun of. Like, that's totally normal. We should make fun of that. Like, it like, what the fuck, man? How do you, and like after we've been in the pandemic for 6 months now, 8 months now, whatever the fuck it is, like, yeah, know how Zoom works, right? Is that your first Zoom call?
Don't jack off during business hours. I feel like it's a pretty simple, like, yeah, you were on break because I guess they were doing like a mock, like, presidential election draft thing or something. And they had like a break, and then they came back from break, and he didn't realize they had come back, and his camera was on. Bro, that's like your cigarette break at work. That doesn't mean you can go to the bathroom and jack off.
Do you think
like you're still at
cigarette
work?
Breaks at work are to just go jerk off? I bet there's definitely people that do that.
Oh, there's definitely people that jack off at work, like in the bathroom, but don't. Especially if you've got like a large corporate bathroom where it stalls. You can't jack off in stalls.
Yeah,
even it's got to be a solo bathroom if you're going to do it. Don't even do that. You're gross.
We wouldn't recommend it.
Because you never know if a guy that looks like me was in the bathroom 5 minutes before you and just dropped a fucking heater.
Exactly.
And that'll just ruin the mood. But then you're there to jack off. You're not going to back out now.
I've committed at this point. You know,
I mean, God forbid you bring your headphones in there, and like if you've got corded headphones and you're watching something and you actually knock it out and people hear fucking porn coming from the bathroom, like you're setting yourself up for failure.
It's just there's so many things that could go wrong, and a lot of those would end up in you not having a job at the end of that. Where it's like, it doesn't matter what your intent was jerking off while on a Zoom call with your company, but like the easy move in the company is to be like, let's make sure that person isn't on any more Zoom calls by not being able to work here anymore.
I mean, that's whether or not you meant for people to see you, that's sexual harassment one or the other.
Right. It is it's not intended sexual harassment, but it is like unintentional sexual harassment.
I mean, if you thought you locked the bathroom at work and somebody walks in on you jacking off, at the very least, it's inappropriate conduct at work.
Yeah, because you shouldn't be doing it.
On the clock. You should be fine.
We're just in this weird, like, what is my home? What is work? Is work my home when I'm working? It's like definitely when you're on a Zoom call, I would say it is.
How about this?
Like, they have your kids where like their parents like don't realize that they're like on the call, and you see the parents like walk across the bathroom naked or whatever, and you're like, well, okay, that's weird, but like that's also like not the person on the call that is aware of the fucking call that is going on. So it's like, yeah, bro.
I think I can settle the what is work and what is home debate. If you're working from home, your workspace is anywhere that's directly in front of your camera. Mm-hmm. The rest of that is now like you're at work. If you're off, like if you're 10 steps to the left, that's your home. But in front of your camera is work. So you can't jack off in that area. And people be like, oh, well, like, I still use my computer for porn. Nope, you don't get to anymore. That is work, because you never know when you're accidentally going to accept a Zoom, apparently.
Clearly.
Or you can just be one of those people that, like, everyone knows is, like, perverted because you're like, oh, no, dude, like, I just don't like the NSA. That's why I keep a sticky note over my camera. Okay, buddy. We know what's going on.
Yeah. You watch.
The NSA has 9 other cameras in your apartment.
And you have your phone that doesn't have anything blocking it, so it's also got a camera on it.
Just don't jack off at work, guys.
Yeah, don't jerk off.
It's pretty simple.
Don't jerk off at work. Don't jerk off at work. There used to be a guy when I worked at the sports station that like he was a weekend guy, and he like a couple of people walked in on him like jerking off, and it was like, what are you doing, man? And I remember that like one day I got in early and I was just gonna go drop my bag and go get food or whatever, and I like saw he had his like laptop. He'd bring his laptop in And then I opened the door, and he just slams his laptop closed and pushes the little rolly chair as far back away as he can. He's like, "What can I do for you, boss? What's up?" And I was like, I gotta go. I'm gonna go. I was just here early, and I had already heard like they were like, "Yo, that dude, like, I'm pretty sure walked in on him jerking off the other day." Like we weren't ever like sure because he was behind a desk, but it was like it's pretty obvious. Like everybody had that same story. So yes, that dude totally was jerking off. And then I was like, I'm gonna go get all the Clorox wipes we have and make sure that everything in here is sterilized.
I was really hoping when you said multiple people caught him jerking off, I was hoping it was going to be like 4 people walked into a room at once and not a recurring.
Like one person
thing.
came and then that person was like, "Come on, let's like, did you
no,
see
or
what
just
that
like
fucking dude was doing? What the fuck?"
I was
And
hoping
then
it was
he
like
just kept
3
going.
people were just like talking and like walked into a room and he was there. I was hoping you weren't saying that like, no, this just kept happening over and over.
Right, but it's like if you jerk off at work and you get walked in on once, that should be enough to be like, hey, don't do that. But I guess there's people that just can't stop.
I don't get those people. Like how you said, some people just find it exciting that they might get caught. Yeah, if you're having sex, like that's exciting. The excitement of almost getting caught jerking off, that's just shame.
I guess so. Maybe that's what they like about it.
Like you should never want to be caught jacking off by randoms.
That jerks off at work. 1, we don't condone that, but 2, let us know why. I actually don't, because then if your boss sees it, then you may don't. So never mind.
No,
do nothing.
You know what? No,
do nothing.
No, slide into the DMs. We will keep it completely anonymous. If you don't want us to bring it up, we won't. But I want to know the psychology behind this.
I was like, yeah, tweet it. No, actually, no. Do nothing about that. Don't tweet it.
And don't tell me it's just exciting and it makes me come even faster. No, because if you were coming faster, you wouldn't be excited about being caught because you'd be done very quickly.
Maybe it's like a quick excitement. I don't know.
Also, what's the cleanup situation at work?
Another good question.
Are you bringing a spare sock with you to work and then you just put it in your briefcase?
Yeah. It's like, hey, why do you have a sock in your briefcase?
I have sweaty feet. I always carry spare socks with me.
But just one. Just one. Just one tube sock. It doesn't match any of my other socks.
Like a tube sock from American Pie.
Why is it sort of yellow?
Did you recently like starch these socks at like a dry cleaner or? Now, hold on. Could a sock be a boomerang in that situation?
Yeah. I told you anything would be a boomerang, a sock, especially a cum sock.
Well, especially because it will have, if it's
could
stiff,
flatten
it does
out.
have that little bit of a sock
and a
angle
curve
to it.
Mm-hmm.
Not a boomerang you'd want to use, but it could.
Oh, yeah, not the most ideal boomerang, but in a pinch, you need a boomerang. That's a rang for you right there.
That's a rang.
That's another thing I'm working on. I just shorten boomerang to rang.
I'm down. I just want to call them rangs now.
Go get you a couple rangs. Maybe that's what we should have made the Gravy Awards. The rangs.
Bunch of cum socks? Oh
no, no. Actually, yes. I already have socks.
It's random. You either get a rang or you get a cum sock.
It's just a big box that you won't be able to see, and you have to reach into it and pick your gravies. Now this is just getting to be a weird party.
No, that's a good idea because you might not be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, we don't want to do that to then they wouldn't want to hang out with us anymore.
Now that's sexual harassment.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, jerking off is a comeback kid this week. And don't jerk off on Zoom calls, kids. Our next comeback kid is pumpkin patches. Because I don't know about you guys, but just I've seen a fuckload of pumpkin patches. The church,
I was gonna say,
my apartments has a pumpkin patch that just put up, so that might play a large part into it. But then I feel like I've seen pictures of people at pumpkin patches. I've seen it's big, take your kid to the pumpkin patch season, couples getting proposed to, or I guess girls getting proposed to, guys getting proposed to, whatever, in pumpkin patches, girls' day, go to the pumpkin patch, sip on your pumpkin spice lattes in the pumpkin patch, put your sweaters on. Like I've seen a lot of that on the gram, seen a lot of that on my timeline. Just feel like it's pumpkin patch season in full force, especially this past weekend. Is that just me?
I think it's just you. I haven't seen any pumpkin patch things. What is a pumpkin patch? How many pumpkins do you have to be a pumpkin patch?
That's what, okay, see, I'm glad you think the way I think. I think we just had Pat freeze on us. I don't know 100% what's going on because that was weird at first. I was like, I just don't know why he's not responding to me in this. But there, he's back. He's back.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, that was scary.
But yeah, Bobby, Bobby brought up a good point about like what makes a pumpkin patch a pumpkin patch. Is it 30 pumpkins? I would assume to me a pumpkin patch is just like you have a shitload of pumpkins. Like I would assume a pumpkin patch, like can you buy pumpkins to carve at a pumpkin patch? Like do you go pick your pumpkin for Halloween at a pumpkin patch? Is it like a Christmas tree lot? Like is the Christmas tree patch? Like can we just call that a thing? And like mark that down, verbal trademark on that as well. By the way,
no, the only reason it's a
this
pumpkin
winter
patch.
we haven't. Actually, for the spooktacular, what if we had a Christmas tree patch?
No, it's only a patch if it's
Christmas
pumpkins because of the alliteration. It rolls off the tongue.
Okay.
Like if you had another word that started with T,
Could you have like a
then
potato
you could do that
patch?
with Christmas tree. You could have a potato patch.
A pineapple patch. Ooh.
Pineapple patch. Ooh,
We may have a pineapple patch at the spooktacular.
I want an eye patch made out of a pumpkin, and
An
have
eye
that be my pumpkin patch. No, a pumpkin patch.
Just call me Pumpkin Patch Adams, guys, because I'm bringing smiles to these sick kids, and like it's just like all the sick kids go to your pumpkin patch as like a Make-A-Wish thing.
Tree temple. You could call it that. There's some alliteration there.
Tree temple. It's like it's too religious for me. Even though it's Christmas, which is also in itself religious. So maybe
true.
That's back on. Pumpkin Patch Adams. Back to that. Back to that great idea. Instead of having the red nose like Robin Williams has in the movie, then you just have a little pumpkin on your nose. Huh?
I like that.
Now that's a Halloween costume, a little low budget Halloween costume. Get a lab coat, get a little red nose, and just draw a pumpkin on it.
No, you just get one of those cute little pumpkins.
Yeah,
just stick it on your nose.
And they're like, "What are you?" You're like, "I'm Pumpkin Patch Adams." They're like, "That's good. That is hilarious. That is hilarious." And you'll be that guy that had the witty costume. So we'll store that one, fellas.
When's the last time?
Impress some friends this Halloween.
Each of you guys have been one half of a couple for a long time. So when's the last time you guys were dragged to a pumpkin patch?
Never.
Really?
Never. I'd go.
Yeah,
I'd go.
Y'all got
I'm
some
a
real
team
ones
player.
though that they don't make you do that.
Dude,
Yeah, we've never been.
There's one that's like right next to my house, so like I should totally just go.
Make it like your idea for like a cute little date night.
Because all right, I get back in town. Emma's in the other room, so just Emma, don't listen. So like we're flying back into town this Sunday. We get back a little bit early. Giants play on Thursday. So like I'll be like, hey, you know what? I know it's NFL Sunday, but what if we went to a pumpkin patch?
No, because
I get
if you
credit
guys
for skipping NFL Sunday when my team doesn't play on NFL Sunday, and then I go to the pumpkin patch, score points.
No, first of all, Emma's smart and she'll see right through that.
Yeah,
Second of all, you don't want to make somebody.
She just walked into here. So yes,
you don't want to make somebody do something on a day that they were also flying. Like if you're flying, that should be the only thing you do that day. It's exhausting enough. You don't want to like fly back, travel all the way home, get home, and then be like, I've got an activity for us. They're like, no, fuck off. I'm getting in pajamas and doing nothing all day.
But what if like the one thing you wanted to like help you recover from like, or like, help you get over the stress of having to fly all day is like, to go and just bask in fall in autumn.
Also, that's just
the Halloween season.
I was just around a lot of people in an airplane.
Actually,
port.
Good point.
I flew on a plane. Shouldn't be going in public right now.
Fuck. There goes my plan. When's the Giants bye week?
But then you could also just be like, I have to sit here and watch every other football game because it's irresponsible to go out.
I'm doing it for I'm saving lives.
Or you could just watch Hocus Pocus together because that's always good.
Could do that. These are all great ideas. But have we decided how many pumpkins have to be in it to be considered a patch?
Minimum 20, but I'd say 30 is a safer number. No, it has to start with that many. As you sell them, the number can dwindle, but you got to start with
10. Like if you get 10 pumpkins, you can't be like, I got myself a patch.
Yeah, no, because 10 can fit on a table.
The square feet of the area. Like, what if you had? If I filled my living room, if I filled what if I filled this studio with 10 pumpkins? Is that like a studio pumpkin patch? Because that's a lot of pumpkins for my studio that I'm in.
Maybe if we're going by area.
This is a whole other wormhole.
Half acre might be a little big, even though when you look at a half acre and you think about pumpkins spread out throughout, it's not that big. But I'd say maybe it's got to be at least like a quarter acre.
I don't know what that means. I do not know the yardage and space of that. What is
I can only picture this because when we lived in Brookshire. Okay, you remember my when I lived in Brookshire?
Wood is where
that was 2 acres. It was 2 acres when I lived out in Brookshire. You remember that house?
Yes, but no one else listening or watching.
But I'm just saying for you, no, they can Google what an acre is. They're on their phone right now.
So this is really just a specific reference for me, guys.
But I'm just letting you picture what a quarter acre would be.
Okay, now help Robert picture that.
Robert, Google an acre.
Giving him a reference only.
So a quarter acre, we'll go with that. Like a medium parking lot.
Does the size of the pumpkins matter? If you have 10 like small pumpkins, is that a patch?
If you don't have a lot of like pumpkins, but you do have other fall themed accessories to, make it fall-y. Like if you have a couple scarecrows out there, does that constitute as a pumpkin patch? I've seen a lot of these pictures. Some have wagons. You have a wagon, and then bonus points if the wagons then have pumpkins stacked on them. So these are all great. Like this is like fellas, ladies, if you find yourself at a pumpkin patch, I want you guys to start sending us your pumpkin patches at Past Grade Pod. Give us a 1 to 10 grade on what you would do this with. And I don't want just a solid 2. Like give me like a 5.6, I want us to really get down to these best, let's power rank some pumpkin patches based on what the Gravy Gang has to say. So if you guys find yourself at a pumpkin patch, send us a pic and be like, yeah, it's got a wagon, it's got a scarecrow. They had a little like pumpkin carving area over there, which I think is kind of rude to the other pumpkins because that's basically like watching your friends get cut up right in front of your eyes.
So
if you think about that.
To answer Robert's question though, you can't just have small pumpkins. Now, if you've got a lot of those just small
pumpkin patch,
like a personal pumpkin, one of those small ones, it's about the size of a softball, you can drop your regular pumpkin number to 15, but you got to have a lot of the small ones still decorating and spotted throughout there to make it a pumpkin patch. Those can't be your main attraction, but they can supplement your pumpkin patch.
I'm going to open this pumpkin talk's making me want a Sigord from our good friends at Sidestep Brewing Company. I'm gonna crack one of those bad boys. They're pumpkin beer, the best pumpkin beer out there.
Now you should have a couple gourds in there. Oh, I think that's what we're talking about. Gourds are the small pumpkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you do that with like coconuts? Can you just like open up a pumpkin and like pour drinks in it? I mean, obviously before you carve it. But yeah, I feel like I just had so many questions with pumpkin patches. I've seen a lot of people going to pumpkin patches. It's like up north. I know they have like apple picking season. I've never once been apple picking, but I feel like people that live up north, that's like a thing they go do. And this isn't like, I've never done it. So I'm just curious. Like, do you have to drink if you drink a cider, if you have Sigord out there available to, stroll through the pumpkin patch with? Hay is another thing. I was thinking of pumpkin patch accessories. Hay goes well in a pumpkin patch. You can kind of sit on it. You can stack the hay. So you can do the whole all right, the girls sit on the first row. The kids, you guys get on the middle row, and the dads, you guys get on that top row. You can do all kinds of stuff with hay. We should just start a pumpkin patch. Like, where do you do you have to grow your own pumpkins? Can you just go pick it up? Somebody tell us. Like, I'm not looking it up. I'm aware that I'm on a computer right now, but somebody just tell us how long it takes pumpkins to grow, because I think Let's put that in the folder for ways to make money next year. Robert, you have that folder ready for us to go. Just type in ways to make money next year, grow your own pumpkins, and then start a pumpkin patch, and we'll have the Pass the Gravy pumpkin patch. That'd be pretty solid. Like, it's like the hay fair from Dwight. Like,
I was actually, as you were talking, I was picturing Dwight doing his own pumpkin patch, but with beets.
Ooh, no, that's another one.
So apparently it takes pumpkins 90 to 100 days.
I was going to say one season, one growing season.
That's not bad at all. All right. So like 100 days from this time next year, somebody write that down too. And we'll start grow pumpkins now. And we'll be like, what does that even mean?
Well,
what is that in reference to?
What climate do we need? Can we grow them in Texas?
A farm climate.
Well, my parents have a little bit of land. I might be able to
land.
I think my parents have tried to grow pumpkins before. We'll talk. We'll see if we can rent some land from them.
Can I bury one pumpkin and grow another pumpkin because I planted all of the seeds in said one pumpkin?
No. You just take the seeds from one and just spread it out over some ground.
Do I have to cook them first?
My dad's got some gardens that he tried to get going that failed, so we'll take over that area.
Okay.
Because if he couldn't figure it out, I'm sure we can.
Definitely. Like we got time, and not really like right now we're dedicated to it. I don't know how dedicated we'll be in honestly 30 minutes, but now I'm all in on this.
30, I was going to say 10.
I'm all in on this idea. Like, how much do you charge people for that? We'll get into that. But just look forward to next year's Pass Gray Pumpkin Patch. It's gonna be fun. And we're gonna call it Pumpkin Patch Adams. That's what we'll call it. All right. Moving on.
Patch the gravy.
What?
I said patch the gravy.
Patch the gravy. I like that too. Chris Pratt is our next comeback kid. Now, I thought like this started yesterday. We even talked about this on the Rod Ryan show. Like they were like, oh, only where one's got to go or whatever it is. It was one of those memes where they're like, okay, one of these has got to go. And it's Chris Pine, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Pratt. And when Rod asked me yesterday morning, I was like, obviously you save Chris Pratt at all costs because he's my favorite of all of them. Mm-hmm. Chris Hemsworth, I know who he is. Chris Pine, I know who he is. Chris Evans, I know who he is. And he's Captain America, correct?
Yes.
Then I was like, all right, well, then I got to go with, like, where do I know Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth from? And I was like, I know the other Hemsworth is Thor, right?
No, Chris Hemsworth is Thor.
Then Chris Pine was in that Jeff Bridges movie that was like Grand Theft Auto a couple of years
ago. He
ago.
also played Captain James Tiberius Kirk in the new Star Wars or Star Treks.
Okay, that too. So I was like, I'm probably going to get rid of Hemsworth. If I had to just, but by due process, because you can't get rid of Captain America or else you're not a patriot.
Yeah, and you can't get rid of Pratt.
The best. And then Hemsworth, I was like, you got a brother. Like, we'll focus on him. Liam is his name, right? Knew that.
I hate to say that I would get rid of Pine, but I think I have to because I do love Star Trek. It's very near and dear to my heart. My dad was a Trekkie. He got me into Star Trek growing up. I love Star Trek. But Hemsworth gave me Fat Thor, and that's a good chance of what I'll be for Halloween this year if I do anything. Because that's a great one, too, because I don't have to leave my house. I just get put on the costume and sit on the couch.
That's pretty good. You just want to wear a cape, really, is what you want to wear.
I mean, right? It also looks super comfortable, and I'm already fat, so I don't have to, like, get anything else to, like, put underneath the shirt. I just got to lift the shirt up a little bit so, like, my belly sticks out, which is easy.
Okay.
And it's, like, I do want a robe. I don't own a robe, and it'll give me an excuse to get a fucking robe. So,
Robert, before we move along with this one, though, like, which one of the four would you get rid of? And you better not say Pratt. I swear to God if you say Pratt.
So
don't say Pratt.
I was looking at Chris Pine's filmography to see what movies I've seen him in, and I've seen him in 2, but I think I would only count it as 1 because one of the movies wasn't animated. He was just a voice actor for. So I would have to get rid of Chris Pine.
Okay, that's an acceptable answer.
I think I have to change my answer. I just remember Chris Pine is Eskimo Brothers with Aaron Rodgers, so I don't think I can get rid of him.
Oh, you really. So Hemsworth it is, huh?
But I love the Australian people.
I also thought this list was very telling because Chris Rock was left off it. So wow, makes you think.
Ooh.
Makes you think. Chris Hogan also left off of it as well.
Understandable.
But I'm just saying, makes you wonder what was going into making this list. You know.
I think I have to go Hemsworth then.
I mean, they got another Hemsworth. You know, you're good. Just call him Chris.
Very xenophobic of us. Keeping all the Americans.
I would also say very patriotic as well. But
also, I would say Chris Hemsworth is probably the Chris Pratt of Australia.
They'd pick him. They'd save him. Loved. They'd save him then.
He'll be okay.
My next thing was then I had that conversation yesterday morning between 6 a.m. and I want to say it was 7 or 8 a.m. Then before I'm getting ready to go to bed last night, I look at Twitter and we're canceling Chris Pratt at some point. And I was like, wait, what happened? How did this get here? And then it was he goes to a church because he's posted videos from church. And so that makes him a Trump supporter because he goes to church. And everybody that goes to church is a Trump supporter, according to people on Twitter. And really just Twitter. But because
Twitter is real life.
But then Twitter just was fuck Chris Pratt, his MAGA bullshit. He's out of here. And I was like, wait, is this a combo of the meme and just other things Chris Pratt has done? Or are we just mad that Chris Pratt went to church? I don't know. But don't cancel Chris Pratt.
No, it's impossible.
Said something absolutely terrible that I am unaware of right now. And then I disregard what I just said.
He's a great guy.
Canceled. But as far as I'm concerned right now, he hasn't said anything. So why the fuck would you try and cancel Chris Pratt? He was awesome.
Until Chris Pratt jacks off on a Zoom call, he's not getting canceled.
And even if I would ask everybody else's opinion from the Zoom call, and then maybe I'd be like, hey, is he okay?
I don't know a man or a woman alive that would be offended by seeing Chris Pratt jack off.
I'm sure there would be some.
I don't care if you're gay or straight. It's just everyone loves this guy at that level of attractiveness. It's just art.
It's just art. That's what Tubin should have tried to do.
No, he's not Chris Pratt. He can't get away with that.
Fine. Going back to Tubin though, O.J. Simpson. So the O.J. Simpson show that they did on FX, Jeffrey Tubin wrote one of the two books that they wrote the show, the little one-off series about. And it was the trial of the century, O.J. Simpson versus whatever, or the people versus O.J. Simpson. And then they used his book to help make that series. And O.J. Simpson was so O.J. Simpson weighed in on it yesterday. I mean, man doesn't even know how to operate a camera. And it was just, I know that O.J., people say he's a bad guy, whatever. I mean, I have an O.J. poster hanging in my studio, whatever. I'm Team O.J. You guys know that. He got acquitted. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. But every time he puts a video out on Twitter, people are like, what a fucking shitbag. And I'm like, I am here for it. What's up, y'all? It's OJ here. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams. I have so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so on my fantasy team. And he really came through for me. That Darrell Henderson. He's great. Lamar Jackson, I'm so glad I drafted him.
We should have known this was coming.
I'm glad that OJ's weighing in on this, though. So, when OJ weighs in on it, it's a hard-hitting topic.
We should have known it
was
OJ
coming, News Network is what we need.
Tubin's book was titled Trial of the Century, How I Jacked Off Through the Whole Thing. So probably should have seen something like this coming.
You should write a book called If I Had Jacked Off on a Zoom call.
This is how I would have done it.
And
these are the excuses I would have
didn't, but if I did, this is how it would have gone. Moving on.
Everything's going to come back to jacking off in this episode. I already know.
Yeah, apparently. Once you set the bar. We set the bar so high. So Chris Pratt is back, and he's not canceled. All right? We're uncanceling him unless something as we're recording this is coming out and we don't know.
Use your curse powers to curse anyone that tries to cancel Chris Pratt.
I got to be responsible.
That is responsible.
I can't get all willy-nilly and throwing out curses. I need to know who I'm cursing. I don't need to just curse people in general. I have to know exactly whomst it is that I'm cursing. I can't just say anyone that disagrees with Chris Pratt.
Yes. No, just the ones that try and cancel him. You can disagree. That's
wide
fine.
I'm casting.
Think about it. Like I said, Chris Hemsworth is the Australian Chris Pratt. Ryan Reynolds is the Canadian Chris Pratt. Can we get a buddy movie with all three of them?
They're all like superheroes, aren't they? Ryan Reynolds is the green. Yeah, let him be in that.
Well, no, Ryan Reynolds is also Deadpool.
Deadpool wasn't in any of those. Well, he was Green Lantern.
Can we at least get a
he?
commercial? Yeah, but Green Lantern, that movie did very bad because of the poor writing, but he was great.
All right, well, moving on though. From Chris Pratt who had a big day on the internet yesterday, somebody who's having a big day on the internet today is Odell Beckham Jr. He's back. Last time he was back, it was about him allegedly liking to get shit on. That was the last time we talked about
Not online, in real life.
Like shit on, having a woman shit on his chest.
Poop on his chest.
I mean, he is a Cleveland Brown, the Cleveland Steamer. Maybe it makes sense. You've already heard those, though. Odell Beckham is back because today he said he doesn't think his body can get corona because it has a mutual respect with the disease. I have the quote. I don't think COVID can get to me. I don't think it's going to enter this body. I don't want no parts of it. I don't want no parts of me. It's a mutual respect. It don't want no parts of me. It's a mutual respect. So he can talk to the virus, and he knows that the virus is like, fuck you, man. I ain't getting near Odell. All right. So that's one.
T-minus 10 days until he tests positive.
He also went home sick last week, but didn't test positive for the virus. So he's okay. We don't want to wish the virus on anybody. I'm just saying.
But now that he thinks he can't get it, he's definitely getting it in the next 2 weeks.
That's bad to put out there, But I also think that I think there's a lot of people that really think that though. Not about Odell. I think a lot of people just think I'm not going to get it. There's just I think he's not the only person that thinks that, I don't think that, but he's definitely not the only person. And then Odell, after saying that, it was announced that the LSU is self-imposing penalties for football violations connected to booster payments, including reduction in 8 scholarships. And they're also banning Odell Beckham Jr. from its facilities for 2 years because he was handing out cash after last season's national championship game. And you saw him doing that, giving money to Joe Burrow, giving money to a couple other people. He said it was fake, but
Joe Burrow later said it was not.
Yeah, turns out it was real enough to get you suspended and banned from the facilities for 2 years. Now, I don't think he's really going to work out a ton over there, but still.
He wasn't trying to give the players money. He was trying to make it about himself. And he knew if he gave them money.
And not him trying to cheat,
Hey, you guys balled out. How can I make this about myself?
I'm here, and I have more money than you guys. So here, have some.
And I'm drunk as shit right now.
Yes.
Everyone gets hundreds.
So Odell Beckham Jr. back in the news in a big way with 2 stories today as we're recording this. Our next comeback, our final comeback kid is Jeff Luneau. This is I felt like it could have we didn't have to bring it up, but just because you guys are both Astros fans, we have a lot of Astros fans that listen to this. Again, the curse has been lifted. And maybe we can all play nicely next year. But Jeff Luneau talked to TV. He did his first interview since being fired for his alleged role in the sign stealing back in 2017. I didn't watch the whole thing. Saw the highlights, saw the clips. So what the mainstream media wanted me to see. And it just basically seemed like he was like, yeah, I didn't do it. There are other people that did it. I didn't do it. What are y'all's thoughts?
Did you watch the whole thing, Robert?
No, I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't feel like it.
I saw one clip just because I've been working. But
the whole bringing it up again, I just feel like just get past it. You don't need to.
Do you think it's him trying to save himself and maybe get another job? That was 100% what it was, sort of, right?
I don't know. I don't see him getting a job in baseball again.
But
I think
I 100% do.
I think maybe he'll try to save face to go to a different sport, but I don't know about baseball.
Let me put it this way.
Go to the Texans.
Bill O'Brien is 100% going to get another coaching job. I don't know if head coach, but he'll get another coaching job. Luneau was 100% going to get another job.
And it may not be with
100%.
a big club. It may not be with a huge club, but I feel like.
Oh, I could see the Red Sox hiring him right now.
I'm not saying that it won't be with a big club, but I'm saying I could totally see him going to a Detroit. I know that they were talking about maybe hiring AJ Hinch. I could totally see AJ Hinch and Jeff Luneau going to Detroit. I don't know what their GM situation. I don't know if they fired their GM in Detroit, but I could totally see that being like a package deal or whatever it is. I could totally see like a smaller market team trying to bring him in just because like he's got the fucking pedigree. Why not do it?
You know what's so annoying too is all these people that like hate the Astros now, but like if you can get any one of the Astros on your team, you want them.
Right, like George Springer. Yes. Everyone wants to sign up to get George Springer, who's probably not coming back now, right?
Probably. I don't know.
James Click did not make it seem like he was set on.
If we don't get him, we better get Marcus Stroman.
I don't know, but people want Jeff Luhnow. They want AJ Hinch. They want Springer.
The same people are like, oh, he cheated, but he's our guy. Doesn't it just kind of make you wish that like Cora had to like stay or like I kind of wish that like Beltran had to be there because then anybody doing it is like, well, then y'all can't benefit off of Beltran or Cora. Like I wish that I understand how it worked out, and I get that the Red Sox or Mets weren't very good this year, but it would have been funny to watch them trying to talk shit and be like, well, no, you're using those guys that benefited from it, or any Red Sox fan that ever tries to talk shit that won a ring because of Cora being there the following year, probably doing the same shit.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Luhnow get hired by like the A's and immediately trade Mike Fiers to the worst team, probably Detroit, or I'd like to see him get hired by Detroit, bring in Mike Fiers, and make Mike Fiers be their starter every game so he just gets the ever-living shit kicked out of him constantly over and over.
Or just he immediately designates him for assignment.
No, because then other people – no, like I want him to torture Mike Fiers into retiring. So, and like retire during the season. So when he tries to come back, they'd still have his rights for another year. So he can only ever come back under their power. Or if not him, because he actually doesn't make the lineup card, make that happen with Hinch. Like, I just love to see Hinch walk into a locker room and have Fiers there and have him just look him dead in the eyes and be like, I'm going to ruin your fucking life.
Yeah.
Like, you will never be happy again when you're coming to work while I'm your manager, and I will make sure of that.
Right.
Fuck Mike Fiers.
I mean, he was scared. We saw that. He didn't want to pitch.
Oh, he was probably also scared that Chris Hansen was going to pop out at any moment, but that's a different story.
That's another story for another day. But just, you saw what he said about, like, I didn't have anything to do with it. There's people within the organization that I demoted, but then later got promoted when I was out. Do you honestly believe that Jeff Luhnow had no idea that there was some sort of cheating going? Okay.
No.
Because I think that everybody else, like, do I think that the Yankees and Red Sox and all of the and Dodgers and all the good teams were cheating too? I 100% do, and I have said that a bunch of times. I'm not trying to say that. I know you guys know. I fucking had history with you guys last week. I cursed the fucking team, but like, I'm not conspiracy theory. Astros were the only guy cheating. I think they were the scapegoat of some shit, and I totally fucking think that like Luhnow had an idea about it. I don't think he was the ringleader of it or anything.
Not at all. No, but he knew it was going on.
They should have just fucking suspended him. They could have just fucking suspended him. But do you think that they did it just to like save face, or do you think that they really did it like to try and just make it through this past season? Like, do you think they were like, well, like we have to have a real GM? Like, you could have just promoted somebody temporarily, I guess, right? And then just gone with like the Sean Payton route when he got suspended. You could have done that.
That would be great, though, if we just rehired him and we're like oh, by the way,
steps down.
AJ Hinch is our bench coach now. And we were just like, Dusty, you know, like you can still have the job we're paying you, or you can step down, we'll still pay you.
They put Dusty like a front office
AJ's
position.
running the show. You're just the
AJ. No, bring back AJ, Alex Cora, and like somehow fit in like Carlos Beltran as like the batting coach. Or hitting coach.
No, I don't want Beltran near my fucking team now because it all started with him.
Just bring it all back, and then everybody like, what the fuck? And it'll just like, yeah, fuck you, Manfred.
But I think fuck Beltran. I don't want him near my goddamn team.
So that's not enough. But yeah, that was the Comeback Kids segment.
Cora's cool.
Cora? Fuck Cora. Moving on.
I mean, he was part of it, but it all stems from Beltran and his dirty Yankees.
He's also won for the Red Sox. But
I've always liked Alex Cora, even when he was a player.
Beltran was a Met. Beltran was also a Met. People forget that.
He was also a dirty Yankee.
But he was a Met, and he left the Astros. He abandoned the Astros to go and get paid for the Mets. And
yeah, he did fuck over the Astros twice,
so
even though he was
put that
only
Yankee
the reason
nonsense
we
on
were in
him.
the World Series was him. But
Right, but like then he left. Moving on though. And then at Beltran, everybody booed, and then he comes back and fucking everybody loves him. So just remember that too. All right.
actually, I do know somebody else that we could hire. Quite possibly the greatest manager that nobody's talking about. Me. And I'll tell you why. I was this Monday night. My fantasy team was looking bad, guys. I know nobody gives a shit, but we're going to talk about it. And that's also the comeback kid is.
All right, and that is enough of that because nobody fucking cares about your fantasy team. I saw Pat on our little prep sheet. Pat put down comebacks. He was like, "I know it's my fantasy team. Nobody gives a shit." I was like, "Good. This is a perfect mute opportunity. It's been a while. We don't fucking talk about fantasy teams, Pat. We don't talk about fantasy teams. It's not about your fantasy team. Nobody gives a shit about your fantasy team. Have you learned your lesson? I'm gonna unmute you. Have you learned your lesson?" You have to unmute yourself now.
It's also about hurting the Cowboys.
Tell just the Cowboys part. Don't tell any of the fantasy part because nobody cares.
Drake's 69-yard run at the end of the game for a touchdown, that caused me to win by 2 points. I'm the greatest manager of all time. And it hurt the Cowboys.
Okay. All right. And moving on because nobody fucking cares about your fantasy team, Pat. Nobody cares about your fantasy team.
Undefeated.
Nobody cares.
Defending champion.
Nobody cares.
Hire me, Strohs. Hire me, Strohs.
Nobody cares about
I
your
know how to
fantasy
win.
football team. It's also a totally different sport. Hold on.
You just said you wanted Luno to go to the Texans.
Because Luno has actually proven that he can manage a franchise in real life and not just
defending champion
in fantasy football. You can go from like
still a sport.
GM to then another GM position in sports, not from fantasy football guy.
I mean, you really can't though. Salary caps and player management, it's completely different from sport to sport.
Jeff Luhnow originally was just a big fantasy guy, and then he like worked his way up through he started small in the Cardinals organization. He didn't just get moved from fantasy expert to GM.
What if the Cardinals rehired him?
Because they already sort of cheat because they stole stuff. So that would be actually.
They committed a federal crime.
But no, the Cardinals are really good about they have a good GM. They just don't know how to keep their guys because they're like, all right, Luke Voigt, ship him off. Arizona Arena from the Rays, ship him off. We don't need him. Like,
can we actually let's do this? Let's rehire
the
Luno.
Cardinals have
and then
so many
trade
players
him.
that are star players now that came from their organization.
Let's rehire Luno and then trade him to the Cardinals for Paul Goldschmidt. I want Goldie to come home.
Maybe.
You don't even know who Paul Goldschmidt is.
Yeah, I do. He used to play for the D-backs as well.
Yeah, and he's from the Woodlands, and he went to Texas State. Shout out Bobcats.
I didn't know he was from Texas, but
that's why I said he should come home.
I do know that Nate Eovaldi's from Texas. He used to be a Yankee, and now he is a Red Sox pitcher because every time he pitches in Houston, there's a guy that went to high school with him that always tells me that on the Rod Ryan show. I mean, it's not as like an obnoxious dude. He's just like, hey, I went to high school with him. Just FYI, he's pitching. Did you know I think he's from the Woodlands too.
Confession, I've been a fan of the Red Sox my whole life, and I still don't know if when you're talking about an individual, if you're supposed to say they're a Red Sox or a Red Sox. I don't know how to pluralize or singularize that.
You are a Red Sox. You play for the Red Sox. In your Red Sox career.
You just said he was a Yankee, but now he's a guy on the Red Sox. So, like, even you had to change the wording because even you sound like you're.
He's a Red Sox player. He is a Red Sox.
I think you have to do what you just did. Is you have to say he's a member of the Red Sox because it still keeps it singular, but makes it so you don't have to correctly conjugate the team because it's confusing.
Yep. That's all right. We got to get out of this conversation.
Yeah, we stretched that
abort. All right,
Whoa.
moving on. Well, I didn't say.
I'm very pro topic.
No. Hey guys, you know what else we could talk about is Jesus, because I don't know if you guys are like me, but
Speaking of abort,
I had those WWJD bracelets when I was growing up, and I always wondered, like, what would Jesus do? Because it just was asking a question and never answered it. I flipped the bands inside and out and couldn't find anything. I thought maybe it was like a popsicle stick. You had to finish the riddle or whatever it was, and it would tell you what happened. No. So I now have a podcast. If you guys send us a situation Jesus would find himself in today's times, we're going to get to the bottom of it, and we'll tell you what we think Jesus would do. And our buddy Jingle Blake Wonder made us this fantastic jingle for the What Would Jesus Do segment. We'll begin with that right now.
Jesus, what would Jesus do? Jesus, what would Jesus do? Put him in a situation in a modern time. If you wrote this jingle, do you think he'd make it rhyme? So think about this crazy world in which we live today, and how would Jesus handle it in any given way?
This week's What Would Jesus Do comes to us from our good buddy, Daniel San Miguel, at DanDemand_713. Sorry, I had to scroll down there on my computer. Dan says, if Jesus was an MLB free agent, which team would he sign with?
The Angels.
A pretty on-brand question. That was actually 100% what I was going to say, too.
I was trying to think. I was like, well, obviously, it wouldn't be the Dodgers or the Yankees, because the Dodgers fans like to try and murder other fans, and Yankees
What
fans
about Padres? Those are like, that's religious.
They're fun. Nobody dislikes the Padres.
I was
But that's
thinking
like
the Padres.
a priest, right? That's
Or
what like from the
dad.
missions. That's true. The Father, Son, Holy Ghost. But no, he would play on the Suns. If there was a team called the Suns, that would have been actually perfect. If there was an NBA team, he'd play on the Suns.
He'd play on the Padres because he'd play for his dad.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like
no, he wouldn't play
if
for his
we're
dad. He'd play
asking-
for everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's
Because
gotta
God
be the
sent His
Angels.
only Son to, do everything for everyone else, not to play for the fathers. So therefore, yeah, that's a good point. You talked me out of that. But just to answer it, the NBA question would be he'd be the Suns because he is the Son. That's over with.
Right. Jesus wasn't a twin.
He wasn't a twin. Definitely not. Twins are out.
Reds,
Red Sox, White Sox out.
I mean, possibility outside shot here. The Brewers
wasn't a brewer. He was a
his blood was wine,
fermenter,
and that's alcohol.
He was a fermenter, right? Like you ferment wine, you don't brew wine.
He was the King of Kings. Would he be on the Royals?
No, he wouldn't flaunt that he was royal.
Why? I'm just saying, it's a possibility. I'm just trying to logically work through this. See if there's anything else besides the Angels.
Like a carpenter's team. I'm trying to think who could be. No, there's nobody with like a hammer as their logo, is it?
No. I mean,
he definitely wouldn't be on the Nationals.
I'm trying to think of a way that he would maybe be on the Orioles, just because I love their logo, but that doesn't make any sense.
Which Orioles logo? Do you like the bird one or the O's?
Oh, the bird one.
The bird one's a cool logo, but like what bothers me, I have a weird thing. Like you guys know I have weird things about jerseys and shit, but like I hate baseball teams that don't have letters as their logos on the hat. That bothers the fuck out of me. So like the Indians,
Really?
The Indians old logo, I know it was classic and it was like, it always got to me that it was like, you don't have a fucking letter. Like I love the Astros logo. It's got the H in it. It's got the star and the H. I think that's cool. Even the old Astros logo still sort of looked like it was like an A, even though I don't think it was. It was really just a star. But like I always was like, that's cool. The Brewers one is a glove, but it's MB at the same time. So like that plays.
I think I'm going to change my answer again.
All right, let's go.
He would sign with the Astros to repair their image.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, he would be
Yes.
Angel. He would be an angel.
Yeah,
He'd go to the Angels.
Angels even better.
He would go to the Angels. They wrote a movie about shit like this.
100% he would have Angels like flying him around for diving catches, and people would be like, dude, like, we know.
This guy is just this isn't even fair. This isn't even fair what this guy's doing.
Like you see Jesus in the dugout just like pointing at a guy, and then like it looks like he's just dragging him across the field for like a diving catch. You're like, we've got you on video, Jesus. That's not fair.
And if you think about it, also you talked about coming to the Astros to like save what the situation they're in. I mean, the Angels constantly have like the highest payroll one of the highest payrolls. They sign every free agent to like a bajillion-year contract, and they still don't make it. Every fucking team basically made the playoffs this season, and they didn't make the playoffs. So like, if anybody needs Jesus' help, it might be the Angels. Really,
he could use the glint off of his halo to like blind people when they're trying to catch a pop fly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then Al's got to be involved somehow. From
Bench
the
coach.
Movie,
Ooh, or third base coach.
You watched Angels in the Outfield, Robert, did you?
I did not.
You would love Angels in the Outfield.
You really would. It's very wholesome.
You would probably still like it, honestly.
God's
Joseph
thumbnail.
Gordon-Levitt. He was a foster kid, but then like, you know, like his mom said that he'd have a real family when the Angels won the pennant. And
no, his dad.
Okay, well, his parents were split up or whatever. His mom died, something like that.
Tony, what was his name? Tony something.
Was it Ghost in the movie?
Was it Angels?
No, Angels.
Angels, not ghosts, which is another question for another day. We're not going to get into that.
Tony Danza. That's his name. Tony Danza's in it.
Tony Danza. And then what's his face? Not Danny Glover?
Yes.
Right? Danny Glover's in it.
No,
he's
Donald.
the coach?
Yes, Danny.
Donald Glover's the rapper. Danny Glover is the coach of the Angels in there, which is also like, okay, Angels, cool name, but like I kind of always want to call the Angels the A's too, but it sucks that they're in a division with the A's because it's
dumb.
But the Orioles get called the O's on the reg. The Nationals, Nats, not the N's, I guess, but like the O's is an easy like one for the Orioles. Like I always want to be like A's, the Angels. Like
do you want to call the Astros the A's as well?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay, you're really dumb.
Honestly, anybody that has an A, I want to call them the A's.
Do you call the Yankees the Y's? Because why are they there?
It applies to teams
them.
with A because they are fucking awesome. So that's why they're there.
Do you want to call the Nats the N-words, you bad man?
No, the Nats is a cool abbreviation. That's all. I don't know where else I'm going with this.
They're just a bunch of bees.
Oh, did you do I was gonna say we could call the Rangers the Rangs, but I don't even want them to have a cool name like that. By the way, we didn't even mention that they fucking changed their Twitter bio to fucking World Series hosts because they can't fucking do it. Like they didn't make the 89 team playoff, but hey, we host the World Series. I hope they hang a banner so bad.
Yes. Honestly,
World Series host 2020. Please do that.
Let's hire Ocean's 11 to sneak into the stadium and hang it.
Whoever wins this year, like the Dodgers or Rays, should also get to hang a banner in their stadium because they literally won all their games there.
Has the lighting improved? Because I watched a little bit of the NLCS, and the lighting just like looked bad, and the angles looked weird. I didn't watch World Series Game 1 yesterday, so I'm not sure if it improved at all.
I didn't pay attention for that, but I didn't think it looked any like I wasn't paying attention too much. Like I had it on for the first 3 innings, I think, and then I turned it off and was doing other stuff. But like I didn't notice anything like super crazy. But like I do remember people like tweeting about it being awkward and like weird looking, and that's how I feel watching games in the Superdome. Like watching Saints games at home. Like for some reason, it always feels like it's just like dark. And whatever the like in the fucking Superdome, it's like, do y'all have half the lights on? Like, what's going on? Why is the field reflective of everything? The field always has like glare on it. Like that did like the way that everybody explained it from the NLCS, I was like, that is pretty much what I feel like I see every time I watch a game that's at the Superdome. And it's almost always like a Saints like broadcast game. If it's a college football game, like bowl game or anything, I feel like they like light it up enough or whatever it is. But it's like only like a regular season fucking Saints game, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if I don't like the turf or what. But yeah, something's fishy with Minute Maid Park 2 and the Superdome is what we'll say.
I've never noticed anything from any of these.
Maybe you aren't paying attention.
Yeah, I mean that's
maybe you're not paying
my
attention.
ADD, I guess. I don't know.
Detail. That's what you got to pay attention to. So Jesus would play on the Angels if he had to play on an MLB team. Probably go to the Angels. Robert, do you agree with that?
I'm going to stick with the Padres.
Padres, okay. I mean, that's
You're
not wrong.
such a contrarian.
It's not a terrible answer though. Like he didn't say like the Mets. Like he could have been that guy.
And the Padres are in a city named after a saint.
What about the Cubs?
No.
Because he's like
no,
like
no,
like God's
No.
Papa Bear.
No.
God's Papa. He's like,
No.
he's God's cub.
Chicago is a just city full of garbage people and garbage sports teams.
I mean, but he's like God's cub.
No.
Get it?
No.
But you get it, though.
No.
But you get it.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. People are like, I am tuning out. All right.
No.
If you want to send us a what would Jesus do scenario, hashtag PTGWWJD to at Pass the Great Pod. I am at Alex J. Middleton. Pat's at not Pat Dion. Robert's at Robert Barbosa 03. Let's move to our if you guys love that baseball talk, you're gonna love our football talk right here, brought to you by our good friends at Southern Star Brewing Company. They're bringing you our Pass the Gravy picks every single week of this NFL season. Pat and I were just up there this past weekend. We took our buddy Chris from Pass the Gravy Bro, had a great time up there. They had their outdoor bar. They're changing it all up. I don't know. I was thinking about like maybe do we do like the Spooktacular outdoor? If it's nice, do we do it outdoor? Because they're putting like an awning over the stage. They built a brand new stage. It's awesome up there. 3525 North Fraser Street up in Conroe. Pat, if you're watching the video version, Pat, I know that like I'm not like directly making a point to like mention what you're doing because a lot of people just listen, and I don't want to always play to the video.
I know, but I like to do this to try and throw you off.
No, that's fine. But so Pat has the Corova Milkshake IPA up there, the Southern Brunch Citrus Shandy, and the Lil Cal Low Calorie IPA. I actually got to try both the Corova and the Lil Cal this weekend for the first time, and I totally get what Pat was saying. They are
about that Corova, man. Also,
now Robert's moving microphones to try and confuse me too. But they have awesome stuff like that. They have awesome merch. I'm telling you, they are socially distant, but like I felt super safe up there. They're so good at like, hey, mask up. Like they're not assholes to you. There's, hey, can you just put your mask up? You know, like when you step in the tap room, please make sure your mask is on when you're walking up to the bar.
Tables are spaced.
Tables are spaced perfectly, and they could not be nicer to you. They'll take care of you. Tell them you heard about them. You're from the Gravy Gang. They'll hook you up. They'll hook you up. I promise. They are awesome. The outdoor bar spaced out awesome. They used to have those big spools. They replaced the spools with tables with umbrellas in them. It's awesome. This weekend we were up there and they had one of the vice presidential candidate of the Libertarian Party that is running for vice president of the United States. We fucking had a beer with him. Like we had a beer while he was there drinking beers. It's like you always like we made the joke like everybody's like, I want to have a beer with that guy. That guy seems cool. Like they literally had like Southern Star had a vice presidential candidate straight up having beers with people. What else can you ask for at a brewery? It's awesome. But Southern Star, just the fact that they let everything go on over there, like they're so welcoming to us for any event we have, to anybody that has an event that goes to Southern Star. I know the guys over at Bravehawk Forge, the Texas Custom Knife Show that I'm going to be a judge at coming up in November. They are awesome. Southern Star rolls out the red carpet for you, whether or not you're throwing an event there. They had a wedding while we were going up there, which is awesome. I saw that they got to take like pictures in the little like the canning area and in the whole warehouse, which looked like that's got to be some fucking sweet wedding photos. But they have weddings up at Southern Star. You can do anything up there, and they're gonna roll out the red carpet, make sure you guys feel taken care of, whether or not you're just up there to have a couple beers because you want to try the Southern Star beer, whether or not you want to see some live music up there, which they definitely have. They got a Halloween party coming up this weekend, I think. They got something for everybody at Southern Star, whether you're an IPA guy or gal. You get the low-calorie IPA, you get the Conspiracy Theory IPA, the Subatomic Juicy IPA, the Corova Milkshake, the Cy Gourd is what I got, the pumpkin beer right there, the best pumpkin beer I've ever had, and it's not just because
hands down
I'm a Southern Star guy. But like, what was the beer that they had that was just on tap up at the brewery? The barrel-aged Octoberist. What was the name of it?
So it was the Octoberist, and it was aged in
which is their Russian Imperial Stout.
Yeah, I can't remember
like
the name of it
alcohol.
now.
It was super dark, and like I
Knob
could
Creek.
only have a little sip of it.
Was it aged in Knob Creek whiskey?
Something like that. Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace. That's what it was. Holy shit, that one was next
What was the
level.
name of it, though? It had some cool name. It was like the Major or whatever it was.
Yeah, Lieutenant something or Major
it was
something.
Something cool like that. But my personal favorite is the Strawberry Bombshell Blonde. If you go up there to the brewery, I love the Southern Brunch. those of you guys have been drinking a ton of that, they just started like, that's like a regular, you just mix the Southern Brunch and the Strawberry Bombshell Blonde. It's phenomenal. And you're going to have a great time if you go up to Southern Star Brewing Company, 3525 North Fraser Street up in Conroe. You can also pick up some Southern Star at any of your favorite liquor stores. You can go get them at H-E-B's, Randall's, Kroger, anything like that. If you're drinking a Southern Star, tag us at Past Grade Pod, tag them at Southern Star BC or at Southern Star Brewing Co. on Twitter and Instagram. Let them know you're supporting the people supporting us. What were you going to say, Pat?
I was going to say, I just noticed on their Facebook now, this is the first time I've ever seen it. They're throwing their merch on there too. They got a couple of shirts that are discounted right now. Grab it while you can. But this is the first time I've ever seen. They've got a Strawberry Bombshell Blonde shirt.
They got some awesome stickers too. Like
it's pink. And you,
awesome stickers. Yeah.
You especially need to check it out, Alex. It's the strawberry shirt. It's pink. It looks awesome. I think you would love that because I know you like wearing bright colors a lot too. So I think you'd ball out in that shirt, buddy.
Oh, I will, buddy. And
also, if you get up there, the election's in 2 weeks. I got a Beer 2020 shirt while I was up there. Alex, I think you got a Karoba shirt, didn't you?
I got the can shirt.
The can shirt, okay.
Which, if you're watching the video version, I'm sorry. If you're not watching the video version, this is what the can shirt is like that. It's on a black shirt. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Bunch of great stuff up there. Check it. If you can't make it up there, like I said, check out their merch online too. You'll find something you love.
And did I mention that we are doing our 7th annual Christmas Spooktacular up there Saturday, December 19th, on all-day event. Saturday in the morning, like we're probably gonna go like 1:30ish to like 2:30ish, and then we got Winston Cook, Dizzy Moore, and High Dive playing, and Santa's coming at 6, which is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a full day of it's like Spooktacular Fest, basically, is what they're turning it into. Southern Star Brewing Company, the official sponsor of our Pass the Grady Picks segment, and it's also the sponsor of our Big Brother podcast, Pass the Grady Bros. But it's the official presenting sponsor of our Pass the Grady Picks segment that we will get into now. All right, Pat. Last week we didn't have great weeks. It was one of the worst
shit show.
One of the worst weeks in Pass the Grady Picks history. I mean, personally, I think I was like 0 for 5 on the day, just like on everything that I ended up betting. I struggled. My team won, and like the Giants winning, like we'll talk a little bit about football too, but like the Giants winning just like made me kind of forget about like how shitty I did betting. That was their first win of the season. So
but I got murdered.
Overwhelmed. But like,
I think I was like 2 of 14 picks on Sunday.
That was a weird week where like, the Broncos got the Pats. There were teams like just like you got some snake bit teams didn't cover. I personally got fucked by the Eagles. The Eagles came back and scored
Packers, Eagles, Patriots
to keep the Ravens from covering. All kinds of stuff like that. It was a weird week, and we both went. I think I went 1-2. Pat went 0-3. Terrible week combined for the two of us. 1-5. The two of us last week, which means we can only get better. We can only get better, Pat.
Hey, you're going to have weeks like this from time to time.
We're going to both bounce back this week and improve. Right now, we are both at 10-8 on the year. And I keep forgetting, like whoever did better last week goes now or what?
I think we've been doing worse.
Right. So you did worse slightly.
Yeah.
0-3 versus 1-2. I'm not bragging about being better, but you go first this week. And there's one game we picked similar that we'll talk about in a sec.
Yeah. Of course, I'm going with my boys, the Packers. We're going to have a bounce back week. -3.5. The Houston can put up points, but Green Bay's they've got to come out pissed off. Coming out of a bye week and looking that bad against Tampa, there's just no way that they don't put it on the Texans, right?
That's so okay. That's gonna be the game that I also like. I know you always pick the Packers, and I try to not pick the Packers. I didn't love a lot of the lines this week, but like this is the biggest fucking lock of the weekend, and it pissed off Aaron Rodgers coming out after a loss like that. Like he didn't play well, he didn't look good. Like terrible news for the Texans. Terrible news for the Texans.
Awful.
Aaron Rodgers is going to fuck shit up on Sunday. And the fact that it was it -3.5? 3.5. What?
Yeah.
Like, no doubt they cover that. I would have given maybe double digits on this one, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Aaron Rodgers is going to win by 4 scores. Like
I already bet it, but I'm going to
4 scores.
tease it and bet it even more.
No, I like that. I like that. Yeah, that's a solid pick. That's why I went with that, and I knew that you were gonna pick it too. I was just like, I got to take that.
That's not even my absolute lock of the week. My absolute lock of the week is the Bills giving 13 to the Giants or the Jets. The Jets are one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Can't do anything, especially I don't know. Is Flacco starting again, or is Darnold ready to come back? Doesn't matter. They're garbage either way. Yeah.
By the way, did you forget they don't have Le'Veon Bell anymore?
I mean, did they have him before?
Right, but like now they don't have Le'Veon, so they have no running back besides Frank Gore. I'm not knocking Frank Gore, but it's the Jets.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to help team morale to have Le'Veon out of there.
The only thing I thought about was
not enough to beat the Bills.
Again, picking a 13-point, like giving 13 points, I know it's the Jets. I understand it's the Jets. I think I took the Dolphins at 8.5 last week was my one win. But like 13 points in an NFL game, even against a winless Jets team, it just makes me nervous. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it's like that's not. I hesitate on all of those to take a 13 to lay down.
I feel you. My last one I'm taking, this one I'm probably the most uneasy about, but I still feel good. Chargers -8 over Jacksonville, just because Minshew is squirrely. That guy, he'll come out of nowhere and just do some stuff from time to time.
He has no help, so he's got to be even more squirrely. But yeah, he can figure some shit out on his own.
And what's his name? Chargers quarterback. Justin Herbert.
Herbert. It's Herbert.
I know. The guy that Alex didn't want that now looks like he can fucking ball.
I did want Justin Herbert. Remember, I was off suck for the duck, and then he went back to school.
I thought you said you didn't want him.
No, I said I did want the Giants. I was like, we're gonna get the duck, and I kept you can go look on my Twitter because I kept posting pictures of him when the Giants would lose.
Okay,
and then
well, either way,
back to school for his senior year, and then we got Daniel Jones.
And he's a rookie, so you never know when rookies are just gonna have a bad game. But Jacksonville just sucks. They're not good.
Yeah, they're not very
good. And I feel bad because I like Minshew. I think Minshew is the next Fitzpatrick.
I could see that. He's
going to have a long career. Hopefully he keeps getting to start. They're probably going to pick another quarterback because they're going to have a top 3 pick this year.
Depending on where they are, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they'll have the 4th pick because maybe 3 teams from the NFC East will be below them.
Not the Giants won't be. They're going to be fine. They'll be fine.
Philly's winning that. But
we're not talking about that yet.
Yeah, Chargers -8 over Jacksonville. It's another big line, but Jacksonville sucks. And the Chargers are looking good, and I think their defense is going to come out pissed off after Bosa just being gassed at the end of the last game and not being able to do anything the final drive. Or was that 2 weeks ago? I don't know. It's all bleeding together. Sunday, I've blacked out completely out of my mind because of not only the beating that the Packers took, but the absolute beating I took in sports betting. But
yeah, that was
Chargers are just a much better team. They just are.
No, I agree with you.
I couldn't overthink it. They're just better.
But yeah, sometimes when you got that, it's easy to usually come up with 2 to pick a third one. Sometimes you're just I don't fucking know. Let's just go with this one. Mine this week was, I think it was the Seahawks given is it 4.5 or 5 against the Cardinals because I was I cursed Kyler, so obviously that curse is back on. Seahawks.
The Seahawks defense can't stop anyone throwing the ball.
Yeah, so it's I don't know if I want to give those points, but I'm gonna go. I got Packers -3.5 over the Texans. That's my lock this week. Then I got Browns -3 over the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow. I just think the Browns are going to kind of come and have something to prove this week after just getting rolled against the Steelers last week. And that was them being little brother trying to step up to the big brother, and they just got their ass kicked. And I mean, the Steelers, I think, have 97 wins in a row over them in Pittsburgh or wherever the fuck it was. But I think they're going to come out and they're going to have themselves a solid little game. I think they beat the Bengals at least by a touchdown. So that's why I'm going to lay the 3 with that. Then my final pick, this is what I was hesitant on this one. I ended up going with this one over the Seahawks laying the 4, I think, to the Cards, just because I don't know what the Panthers are weird, man. The Panthers have been a covering machine this year, and they've covered all but one game. Teddy Bridgewater, I like Teddy Bridgewater. He's cool. They haven't had Christian McCaffrey, and they still have figured a way to win games. New Orleans is good. They do get Michael Thomas back. I think New Orleans wins this game, but I feel like it's another divisional game. a divisional game tends to be a little bit closer than a lot of them. I don't think it's going to be a lopsided divisional game or anything like that. I think that Carolina comes out, and I think Carolina probably loses by like 3-4 points.
Yeah,
7.5. If you're gonna give me that with the Panthers, I'm cool taking the points on that. So I'm gonna go Panthers plus 7.5 over the Saints. Saints probably.
I like that one a lot.
I think Panthers cover though. So I have Cleveland -3 over the Bengals, Packers -3.5 over the Texans, and Panthers plus 7.5 over the Saints. Pat has Bills -13 over the Jets, Chargers -8 over the Jags, and Packers -3.5 over the Texans. Also, I threw in a nice little I like to look at like some parlays early into the week. This is Wednesday as we're recording this. But I got a nice little parlay that I thought it's my throwaway parlay. It's all dogs except for one spread, and it's a spread I was a little nervous about. But like, if you're gonna lay the 13 with Buffalo, why not do it in a parlay, right? Like that makes sense. Lay the 13 with Buffalo. I think that's -115 are the odds on that. You lay the 13 with Buffalo, so that's my only pick against the spread. The rest, I'm gonna go Lions money line over the Falcons. I think the Lions could possibly pull off the upset. Then Titans money line over the Steelers. I feel like the Steelers will win, but if the Titans can pull that off, then you got that one too. And then 49ers money line over the Patriots. I don't know what to buy into the Patriots with or not. I don't know how good the Patriots really are or how good the 49ers really are. It just seemed like I picked 3 underdogs I thought could possibly win. Not that I think they will, but I could totally see these games ending up in wins as well. Like I wouldn't be surprised. And then I think the Bills, if they can cover the 13, then boom. That's 4 picks right there. Lions money line, Bills giving 13 to the Jets, Titans money line, and 49ers money line. If you put $10 on that parlay, you're going to win 174 back. Solid little return on a little underdog investment. I always like to throw a couple of underdog parlays out there just in case, like a week like last weekend happened where these underdogs just show up. You get 3 underdogs like that. Those are 2 or 3 very capable underdogs right there, and the Bills against a fucking shitty Jets team. So things go your way. You know what? You could make $174 putting $10 down on Sunday. Then let's give you a quick update on the Pass Gravy Big Brother pool. Last week, Memphis got evicted. He finished 5th place on the season. Josh Tree, last year I think you got 4th, but you won because Pat, myself, and Robert got 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Nice Josh, participation trophy.
Finishing 4th last year, finishing 5th this year. Not bad, but not as good as last year, so he is out of the pool. Enzo, one head of household, which means Brandon is safe for the week. And then Enzo nominated Nicole and Christmas for eviction, which means Daniel Tom Chesson and Fernando Ramon are possibly going to be out of the Big Brother pool tomorrow. They have a veto competition tonight and then an eviction tomorrow. And finale night is a week from tomorrow night, Wednesday, the 28th. Is the date of the finale. Passagary Bro, myself, my wonderful girlfriend Emma, Pat, and even sometimes Chris Hogan when he feels like showing up, former co-host of Pass the Gravy, he'll show up and pop up on there and break down the episodes. We're going to do the recaps. We always go live right after the evictions on Facebook, and then we try and go as live as possible. But like a lot of times I got to edit podcast stuff on Wednesdays. Hopefully tonight we can get out early enough to do that if we can wrap this up in a timely enough manner. Pass Grade Bro, give it a subscribe, like it, give it 5 stars, and type up like this podcast is really dope. It's got to be at least 5 words, just right. This podcast is really dope as like a review on Pass the Gay Bro. And then while you're at that, also go subscribe to Robert's podcast. A recent study suggests Robert hates emojis. You can get mad at him about that. You can get mad at him about that for this week's podcast. But Robert and his partner, Sam, do a podcast, and they had I'm not going to give away the guest, but they had a cool guest on that just recorded with them yesterday, and I'm looking forward for you guys having the opportunity to listen to in a few weeks. But recent study suggests Pass Grade Bro, part of the Pass Grade Podcast Network. Subscribe to both of them and give them a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Let's move on to the Not Cool segment. Now, not cool can be something as little as stubbing your toe on the way to the restroom in the middle of the night, or, Pat could stab you. That's also not cool. But something that would make you say, hey, man, that's not cool. That's all you got to do. You can hashtag PTG not cool to at Pass the Grade Pod. I'm at Alex J. Middleton. Pat's at not Pat Deanna. Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. The Not Cool segment is brought to you by Alamo Remedy CBD. When you aren't feeling cool, you got a little anxiety kicking at you, you're a little stressed out, maybe you're having some trouble sleeping, all those things can be not cool. Well, Alamo Remedy has you. AlamoRemedy.com, the best CBD ever. They got all kinds of awesome stuff. Most of their products are priced at $17.99. They all contain 250 milligrams of CBD, which is about 50% less than the national brands. The CBD gummies, CBD lotion, the cucumber melon lotion. Pat is loving him some of the cucumber melon lotion. Don't eat it. It smells like pudding. Like
no,
pudding,
I was smelling it.
It's awesome. I use it on my my ankles after soccer. It feels fantastic.
Shoulders
the
is where
tincture
I go.
oil, the capsules. Chris was actually the hemp flower. The hemp flower that they have. This is, I think, $20. It's the only non-$17.99 product that they have on their website, AlamoRemedy.com. By the way, though, if you use promo code PTG at checkout, you get 10% off of your order. AlamoRemedy.com, promo code PTG at checkout for 10% off your order. The hemp flower, it smells kind of like weed. It's not weed at all. Chris has some stomach issues. And Chris, we got back from the brewery on Saturday. He came over and hung out with us for a little bit. And he's like, my stomach's bothering me. And I was like, try some of this CBD hemp flower. Smoked up a little bit of that. Chris said he was feeling great. So I'm just saying that's about $20. You can go get it at AlamoRemedy.com. I promise you won't be disappointed. Shout out Joe Vargas. I know he used our code. Every time you guys use PTG at checkout, I get a notification that you guys supported the people supporting us. Alamo Remedy CBD, the best CBD products on the market. You guys are going to love it. You get 10% off when you use our promo code PTG at checkout. That's AlamoRemedy.com. Promo code PTG at checkout. Tag them on Twitter, on Instagram. Let them know you're supporting the people supporting us at Alamo Remedy and at Alamo Remedy CBD on Twitter and Instagram. AlamoRemedy.com. Promo code PTG checkout. AlamoRemedy.com. Promo code PTG at checkout for 10% off of your order. That's AlamoRemedy.com. Promo code PTG at checkout for 10% off of your order. This is the Not Cool segment.
Not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool. Not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool. Not cool. Not cool.
All right, I have a bunch of not cools. If you guys want to knock y'all's out first, I can go last or I can start off. What is y'all's preference?
Yeah, let me go first. I'll do mine first.
You go, and
I have two
let
quick
Alex
ones.
close it.
Yeah, I have two quick ones. So they both revolve around online orders. The first online order I placed, it wasn't anything that I needed right away, so I didn't keep track of the shipping information of when it was going to arrive. And the day that it arrived, I got it. Cool. No big deal. Later that day, I got an email saying your package had shipped. I'm like, uh-oh, did I buy a second pair of this thing? Nope. They were just telling me on the day that it arrived that it had just shipped. Because,
oops, somebody forgot to hit. There was probably somebody in charge of clicking each process that it was at, and they forgot to click the shipped one. And just hit them all.
Yeah, I guess so. And the second one, after work, I was outside just hanging out. It was a nice day outside. I think this was yesterday. And I get a text message saying, we couldn't deliver your package. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was outside in front of my house. I never saw anyone.
It had already been delivered.
I was hanging out for half an hour before they texted me. I'm like, okay. Well, sometimes they do this. We're like, oh, we can't deliver it because we were just too lazy, so we'll deliver it the next day. I'm like, nope, it's not here. I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess it's going to get here the next day. Then later that same day, it showed up after telling me that they had already attempted to deliver it and would try again tomorrow.
They hit you with the hezzy hay.
Yep, they got you.
Yeah, I mean, so they're both no big deals. It was just in small inconveniences that turned out to be just okays.
Yeah. the worry that goes through you at one point, like, wait, what is going to happen? Am I going to have to go to the post office? And then you're running through it. It's like when you think you lost your wallet, then you start running through every chore you have to do. Like I had to call and cancel my cards. Then I have to get a new card. Then when that card gets in, I have to update all of these accounts that I have to pay from. Then I have to go to the fucking DMV. I had to get a new license. I have to find another wallet. I have to do this. Did I have this card in this? Was my work card in here? Okay, I got to call work. I got to get this. Like, just though you're running through the motions of like, shit, this is going to just be a chore list that I don't want to do, which is really the epitome of not cool. It's just like,
yeah,
I don't want to do that. So it's a good one.
It's good. Mine is also just a minor inconvenience, but it's nobody told me that having a beard and wearing masks, or it's actually more so a mustache, is that constantly I'll just be in my mask and then all of a sudden there's a mustache hair in my mouth. I'm like, what? How? Like I'll take off my mask, remove it, and then like 20 minutes later, there'll just be another hair in my mouth. And I'm like, dude, I'm not even feeling these hairs being pulled out of my mustache. But somehow they keep ending up like on my tongue. And it's annoying.
There's nothing worse than like when you know you have a hair in your mouth and you're like, all right, where is it?
You're like, okay, my choice is go into the back and take off my mask, or just like get it on my tongue and like try and press it against the front of the mask, but it's just going to end up back in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's very annoying.
I don't know if you've ever had like the facial hair, whisker or whatever, get like in your mouth, and then it's stuck in the back of your throat, and it's like,
nope.
Then it's like a fucking popcorn kernel, and you're just like, I can't get rid of it. No, you're like hacking up whatever you can to try and get it out of the back of your throat. Like, this is terrible. Why is it doing this? It's like itchy. Every time you swallow water or whatever, you kind of feel it. And then like, I remember I had that one time and it was for like 2 days. I could feel it. And I was like, this is the worst thing ever. I hate this. I don't know how to do it. I was like sticking my finger in the back of my throat, seeing if I could just reach it so I could move it out or whatever. And it wouldn't, and I couldn't do it. And then I woke up one day and it was gone. All right. Thanks. But yeah, that shit is a solid. It's another solid, not cool. I have three pretty I guess they're not big ones, but they're stupid ones that I want to fucking talk about. Okay.
All minor inconveniences. That's all we got.
They are all minor inconveniences, but like these are ones that like I got some shit with. Honestly, like let's start off. This is probably the biggest one. Okay. So you guys know me. I'm a big soccer guy now. I free MLS free agent. The Dynamo still have yet to sign me, despite losing 2-1 on Sunday. Again, 0 MLS goals given up in my career. But let's not look at Alex or anything, Dynamo. Not to say that I've got less goals than any of their goalies have ever given up, but whatever. So we were playing soccer. We play soccer on the same field every Saturday, same time. And this dude rolled up on his golf cart and was like, hey, man, y'all aren't allowed to play here. I was like, yeah, we are. It's a park. It's Bear Creek Park. It is a public park. You can do whatever on that public. I mean, we're not smoking dope. We're not drinking booze or anything like that. We were playing soccer on soccer fields. Fields that you play soccer, like exactly what those fields are meant to be. Was there a youth game that was trying to play on the same field that we were taking up space for? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There were also 4 other empty fields no one was using. So don't know what the big deal was. Then the dude was like, yeah, y'all aren't allowed to be here. You got to have insurance. And I was like, I had to have insurance to play soccer on a field in a public park. And he's like, yeah. I was like, so like if I went to like grass is a field, correct? Like just a group of like a lump of grass. So like if we go to Central Park, we took a soccer ball. The 3 of us were kicking a soccer ball around. Would we have to get insurance from Central Park? I don't know who you get insurance from. Would we have to get fucking health insurance that would cover the fucking park in the event that one of us is like, well, look, what happens if one of y'all gets injured? I think we just might have lost Pat again. I don't know what happens. Oh, there he is.
Nope. Yeah, I'm good.
But he was like, well, what happens if one of y'all gets injured? I was like, I mean,
then we're injured.
We're injured. Like that's it. What some of us have been injured before, and it sucks. I pulled a fucking quad playing before. I just went home, put icy hat on it. That's what I'll do.
Did you guys even ask? Be like, just because you're in a golf cart, like, do you have identification?
Yeah, he was like in charge of whatever the club was for the youth thing, and apparently the youth league has insurance because they could be held liable if we get injured. I was like, yeah, but we're at Bear Creek Park. Like it's again, a public park. He's like, yeah, well, these are like their soccer fields. I was like, you're right. But like, there's also a shit ton of grass. So if we went to play on the grass and like I broke my ankle, could I also still sue? And he was like that, no answer. There's no answer.
Did you guys stop or did you play?
Well, because he was fucking, I don't know. He had a golf cart. I didn't want to have the cops called and shit.
I would have just felt like, dude, you haven't shown me any identification that you have authority over these fields.
Shout out to John.
We're gonna play until
he's taking care of some shit, so we should be good for the next time.
But I'll just be like, well, we're gonna play until you show us identification that you have some authority to tell us not to play. So you can go get that.
It's just like, why would like I understand if we were fucking tearing up the field, which we weren't. We were just fucking kicking a soccer ball around. We were fucking trying to do like a pickup game, man. Like and the dude was just like, hey, we could be held liable for the insurance. And he was trying to be cool, but I was like, you understand how like, this is kind of bullshit, right? Like I could go to any fucking park. I go to any park and kick a soccer ball, and if I get hurt, I would never assume it was the park's responsibility.
Yeah,
like,
but not
field
everyone.
is literally
any
field. Right, but a field is literally a patch of grass. It wasn't an indoor soccer facility. It wasn't pitch 25 where it's in a bar. It wasn't like anything like that. It wasn't the Dynamo Stadium. It was a fucking public park that people play sports at all the time.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I get you're doing your job, buddy, but also until you supply me identification that this is your job to do, we're just going to keep playing. So if I call whoever you need to get people out here, but we're going to play our game.
If I was running at
Memorial Park, we'll probably be done in the time it takes you to get someone to show up.
If I was running at Memorial Park, that's a sport, right? Running's a sport. It's an Olympic sport.
That's true.
If I was running and got mugged and somebody shot me in the leg, do I get to sue Memorial Park?
No,
I don't think it works that way.
If you were running and tripped and hurt your ankle, it's the exact same thing as playing.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like
playing soccer. I mean, can I jog?
The logic behind
there's a guy jogging right there. There's a guy jogging right there. There's a sport. Are you going to go tell him to stop jogging
and that's
here?
the whole thing. There's like a path around. There's like, tell him to stop running.
Well, the path.
Do these runners have insurance? It doesn't fucking make sense. But it was bullshit, and that's a solid not cool. That was my not cool that I had on Saturday of last week. And then yesterday I was in the kitchen. I had the sink on. We have one of those like the pull off like hose sink things where you can use it to like turn it into like you can make it like the shower head mist or whatever it is, and then you can just have the regular sink, the single drop or whatever it is. And I pulled that out, and then the top of it, not including the hose, just came off, which then in turn the sink was on. So then I just got sprayed with water. It was just straight shooting right at me as hard as it could. And then it went all over the little, like the stove top behind me and the cabinet behind me. And it was just like, what the fuck? And it was one of those things where it was like, I didn't process what had just happened until like it was too late. And it was like, I was like, oh, and then so I immediately then turned it off. But it was like already like 5 seconds of me being like, oh, wait, what? Why is it? Oh, the thing is off. Okay. Like, I was supposed to just pull this out, and the hose was just going to let me wash whatever I had in the sink, and it didn't. So that fucking sucked. And then I guess they fixed it while I was at work today, Emma said. But when the rest of the night, like, it was like right before the office closed, so like to put in any like maintenance request was like last minute, probably not going to happen that night. So then we just had to get like we had a pitcher that we would then just use as like a backstop. And we would just turn the water on. It would squirt right into that. So then if we needed any water, we would just use the pitcher to just pour. We had to turn it off and use the pitcher. So I was like, that fucking sucked. That was a not.
You got a hair in the back of your throat?
No, I don't that time. I don't have that time. But that was a fucking just shitty thing that happened. And the fact that then I just had to clean up a bunch of water everywhere fucking sucked. But like, that was a not cool. But the cool part of that is that I don't own a home. So that meant somebody else had to fix that, not me, which is one positive.
Pretty cool.
In an apartment. Then my other not cool is I have to go to Maryland this weekend for a funeral, and I have to take a suit. And I don't like, I would always just like go to my parents' house in Katy and get luggage that they had, because I don't own a piece of luggage for myself. Like, I don't own an actual suitcase. I just usually take duffel bags or backpacks wherever I go, because there's a suit involved in this like, I was like, I need like a suitcase to do it with. So I was like, I'm going to go to Amazon. That's easy. They got like next day delivery. Like fucking
just
finding
because it's called a
luggage.
suitcase doesn't mean that that's the only thing that can hold a suit, right?
I don't like. Okay, I don't want to get bunched up in like a backpack. It's really what I meant. Like I like that you can put like the garment bag and everything. Like there's a reason. Okay, but so like I went and I was like, I'll just buy a suitcase. Suitcases are fucking expensive, dude. Luggage is ridiculous. It's a bag, man. Not a purse. I wasn't looking at Louis Vuitton shit, but it's like $167 for a fucking bag with wheels on it. What the fuck? Is that a car? Fuck you,
that's
luggage.
why I still just use that. Nobody will understand this but me and Alex, but that piece of luggage they gave us when we graduated high school.
Oh, from Project Grad?
Yeah. That's my bag.
It was like a rolling suitcase.
But it's not a suitcase, really. It's just
like a
one
soft
of those
top suitcase.
Yeah,
it's like a baseball bag with wheels.
Yeah, it's something that you can, throw shit in when you need to move all your clothes and stuff up to college. And then I've flown with it multiple times. That's my suitcase. And then a backpack because I will never travel with more than that.
It was ridiculous, man. Like people paying $400 for fucking luggage. For something that holds your clothes that you use, like I mean, I don't fly that often, so like maybe 2 times a year. I'm not paying $167 for that shit. Fuck that. But then the fact that I need it because I'm flying on Friday, and I was ordering it yesterday. I was like, I wanted to make sure I could get here by today or tomorrow. And the only thing that was like guaranteed to do that was like, it wasn't even like a rolly suitcase. It's like, it was like a big duffel bag, but it's got like a suit holder in it. So it's like a spread out like duffel bag, but then you fold it back up and it I don't know. It makes sense when you look at it, but like not when I'm explaining it. And
I wish I would have known about this.
$49.
My sister's got a bunch of luggage that I could have let you borrow. Like a bunch, like when I had to,
I could have also probably just driven out to my parents' house, but I didn't.
When I went up to my cousin's wedding, I used one of her real like hard top, hard case luggage ones. That's what I put the 2 cases of Southern Star beer in when I flew up to Maine with it. So could have used that.
Yeah, well, now I own luggage, and luggage is fucking stupid, and it's super expensive, and I don't really understand it. I don't understand it at all. Like, backpacks aren't $1 million. Backpacks are basically the poor man's suitcase. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, why? It makes no sense. Because you put a fucking plastic cover on it, you can jack it up $75.
Well, first of all, you keep saying, like, when I picture suitcase, oh, no, I'm thinking briefcase. A backpack is a modern man's briefcase. Like, you don't need a briefcase anymore. Just wear a fucking backpack. Nobody is going to think less of you unless you're, like, upper echelon, like, business shit.
Right.
Like, if you just work in an office, you're more than cool to wear a backpack. You don't need a briefcase anymore.
Just luggage, dude. Fuck that. Luggage. Like,
sorry about that, buddy. That's
hasn't
rough.
ever dealt with. I mean, I ended up spending like $50, and I got a thing that showed up today before we recorded. But like, just look at it. I was like, what the fuck? No, you don't get $200 for a fucking bag. Get the fuck out of here. It wasn't.
But hey, think of it this way.
It wasn't Gucci.
You can slap a bunch of Southern Star stickers and PTG stickers all over that bad boy.
It's like a cloth thing.
Well, what you can do
delivered today
is bring a bunch of those stickers with you to the airport and just start slapping them on other people's luggage.
Believe me, that's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan. But yeah, that's my not cool.
You pick it up like you think it's yours, and when like you're looking at the bottom of it as you put it back down, just bam, slap one of our stickers on it.
Exactly. So yeah, those are my not cools. I feel like those are actually, like I feel like sometimes I come in with some shitty not cools. I think that was 3 not cools that are definitely not like I could have held on to those and made those my big not cools for the other ones, but like just fuck that
those
guy really for the insurance thing. Like I don't fucking need insurance to play at a park. All right, if this was just a league,
always ask for identification,
or just pop his tires in his fucking little golf cart. Maybe I'll do that.
Oh, okay, that's not cool.
No, I won't. You didn't hear that. Robert, cut that part out. All right, let's get to our answers segment. There's no such thing as a stupid question. You send
just stupid people.
disagree, but you send us any question you think of. It's a high thought, something you see on a billboard, something your friend tells you, just something you think of. Like I get a lot of shower thoughts that I feel like are always like good questions. And if you got anything you ask us, I won't make fun of you. Send it into us. Hashtag PTG answers at Pass Grade Pod. I'm at Alex J. Middleton. Pat's at Not Pat D. And Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. This is the Answers segment brought to you by our friends at Little M Air Fresheners for the whole month of October. All of the Little M Air Fresheners will be just 50 cents a piece. Little M is also releasing some Halloween themed items in October as well, along with some spooky season freebies in the Little blog. Go to littlemshop.com, littleemshop.com. I am looking at the air fresheners. They're all 50 cents, man. All of them are 50 cents. You spend $10 or more on your air fresheners, and you're going to get free shipping. $10 more, not just on air fresheners, but on anything. So, like, you know, you get the 50-cent air fresheners. You get 20 air fresheners. You get 20 air fresheners. Why would you not want to do that? You get free shipping for it. Might as well just spend the money. Get you enough air fresheners for the fucking year, at least, probably next year too. You're going to be great. You're going to be sitting pretty with these air fresheners, 50 cents a piece all through October. They got keychains. They got all kinds of other stuff. They got stickers. Shout out Daphne Clark. I know she sent in, she has some stickers. She had the little journal that they have as well. And I know she's got some keychains too. Danielle Weston, I appreciate you supporting. I know Stephanie De Balbao, she's supporting as well. And Raimundo Benavides, he's also a big supporter of Little M Air Fresheners. littlemshop.com. That's littlemshop.com. 50% on all air fresheners through the month of October. If you spend $10 or more, you're going to get free shipping as well. littlemshop.com. At Little M Shop on Twitter. Or at Little M Tweet. At Little M Tweets on Twitter, at Little M Shop on Instagram. Go give them a follow, share with them. If you get anything from Little M, let them know you're supporting the people supporting us. Little M Air Fresheners, the official air freshener sponsor of Pass the Gravy and the Answers segment. We will begin now.
Well, if you just answer the question, why don't you just answer the question? Be honest, no big deal. Yeah, answer the question.
Don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question.
Any questions?
Our first Answers question this week, as is always, as it is every week, is a better way to say that. I was like, I fucked that up.
Pretty bad, yeah.
Not our first Answers question this week.
Man, you are off.
No, I was looking at Not Cool still, and I was looking at
now for the words that make sentences.
I was in my mind, I was processing the fact that I was looking at it's Not Cool, but I was like, I'm in the wrong segment. I need to just scroll down. That was what was happening because Skylar sent us a Not Cool too. But Skylar, with our first question this week, at OMG at Skylar on Twitter, he says, if you order DiGiorno through Amazon, does that make it delivery? If so, what should DiGiorno's new slogan be? Because their whole slogan is it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. But yes, if you get DiGiorno delivered, then that is like I always wondered that with Instacart too. Like if you get Instacart to drop off your fucking shit, then like
or Fiverr or whatever any of those things are, it's getting delivered. It's not delivery, kinda. Or hold on, let's figure this out. Let's workshop this.
It's not delicious.
Most of the time,
DiGiorno.
Most of the time, it's not delivery. It's DiGiorno. Now,
most of the times. Usually. In parentheses.
Let's see.
I think they can keep the alliteration and just go, it's not Domino's, it's DiGiorno's.
No, but then you're giving free advertising to a competitor.
I like it's not delivery. It's DiGiorno, but it could be delivery if you order through Amazon. Like,
it's not delivery. It's DiGiorno, unless you lazy fuckers get it delivered.
I was trying to make a D's nuts joke with it, but like
it could be delivery.
DiGiorno's nuts.
It could be delivery.
It may be. Delivery? You be the judge.
We won't deliver. We're
not
DiGiorno.
From us. Yeah.
There you go. We won't deliver. We're DiGiorno. But that leaves it open-ended.
That makes it seem like it's a bad pizza. Like it could be a bad pizza. We're not gonna deliver on this pizza, on this taste.
No, hey, you can get it delivered. We ain't gonna fucking do it.
But you get to make up what you think of that slogan. So yes.
Who do you think we are? We're DiGiorno. We don't deliver.
We ain't nobody big. We're just DiGiorno.
What do you think? You're better than us?
What, we're gonna waste money on gas?
Oh, you can't get in your fucking car to come get our good pizza?
You fucking just get it at the grocery store. You already there. Fuck you. Yeah.
Fuck you. Eat our pizza. We're DiGiorno.
But that's all we have to say about that.
That's what I'm saying. Is we won't deliver. We're DiGiorno. So they're becoming combative with it too, which I respect.
Yeah, we don't do that shit. We don't do that shit around here. Our next question is from Josh Tree Coddle at Joshua Tree 713 on Twitter. He says, if a woman cock blocks another woman, is it called a beaver dam or a taco blocko?
Beaver dam.
I was always under the impression there was a twat swat.
Clam jam.
Like a cock block, it's a twat swat.
I feel like we've answered this before, and it was like clam jam and something.
I don't know.
Between those two, it's beaver dam, because that's an actual thing, and both of those are real words. Blocko is not a word. Sounds funny, but beaver
taco
dam
blocko
is just...
should be replaced by twat swat.
Or clam jam.
I think twat swat's better. It just rolls off the tongue.
Because a swat is a block. A jam is more like... A jam is you're actually like jamming it in. So that's not... Clam jam is clam jam is the opposite of what we're talking about.
Robert, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to say it's neither. It's a twat swat.
It's a twat swat. You agree?
I guess. Pat doesn't like when I'm the contrarian, so I'll go with that one.
Which one?
The one you guys said.
No, which one was it? I forgot.
Oh, you have a bad memory. Your goldfish?
Am I lagging out again?
No, Robert was lagging.
No, you're still here. Was I lagging out?
Yeah, for a second, but we're good now. Robert has this like super HD like camera now. Robert's got this whole like studio set up now. These guys' own podcast going on.
It's too advanced for our...
It just lags sometimes because it's so technologically advanced. And Pat's on like he's on whatever they used when they were on the moon the first time. Yeah.
I'm on a 5-year-old iPad, man. It's
working, man. It's working though. Twat swat is what we're going to settle on. So we're going third party on that one. Our next one is from our girl Stephanie Ebao. At Stephaniezy on Twitter. It's 5 E's before the ZY. But Stephanie says, do birds ever just fly for fun, or are they always on some sort of mission?
Oh, fuck yeah, they do. You ever seen two birds chasing each other? That looks fun as shit. And also, you got to remember, humans run for fun.
Well, I was also thinking like sharks,
version
it's like
of running
sink or
is
swim.
fun.
Sink or swim, it's probably like fight or flight or some shit like that, right? So like sometimes you just got to fly. You just want flight. You don't want to do anything else. You're just flying. I mean, if I had wings, I'd fly all the fucking time for no reason.
Because you can glide. It doesn't even take that much effort.
And like baby birds, like, do you remember when you first got your license? Like I would just drive around with nowhere I was going. I would just drive around like the like area I lived in. I'm going to go to the end of this street and then I'm going to go here and then I'm going to head home. And it was like, just because I could drive, I wanted to get out and do it. Like if you think that birds that are just figuring out how to fly don't just do that shit. Yeah, they all do that. So yeah, they fly just for fun for sure.
Definitely.
You here for, was it work or pleasure? Like, I was just flying, just gliding, just riding the wind down to Florida. They're like, oh, you're not migrating. Like, no, just trying to see how far this bad boy could fly. Just trying to get this jet stream. Jet streams are definitely what birds hop on, I think. Our next question is from Brandon Whitehead at Brando Whitehead on Twitter. He says, is Chuck E. Cheese really just a casino for children?
I want to say yes, but I feel like there is a better analogy out there.
Dave & Buster's is a casino for children.
No, Dave & Buster's is for adults.
I definitely went to Dave & Buster's as a kid.
Yes, but you have to have an adult with you because they serve alcohol.
Right, but usually that would be the chaperone of whatever party you were going with because you didn't give a fuck because you were a kid. You didn't drink.
Buster's is for dudes.
I mean, I get it. It definitely is, but I also think like that's more casino-y because it's all games.
No, it's the exact opposite of Chuck E. Cheese because Chuck E. Cheese, you have to have a child with you to go. You can't just be our age and stroll up to Chuck E.
Well,
Cheese.
that's a good rule.
No.
That's a solid rule to have.
Yes.
Probably put it in place for good reason, too.
You can't be 14 and go to Dave & Buster's by yourself. They don't allow it.
I mean, do a lot of 14-year-olds go to Chuck E. Cheese by themselves?
I mean, I'm just saying you can't be 6 and do it either.
Right. So I'm saying Dave & Buster's is basically the same thing. It's just
No.
like you have to. You're usually with a parent when you're a kid going to Chuck E. Cheese, anyways. You might as well be a kid with your parent going to Dave & Buster's because it's better.
But you can go to Buster's by yourself if you're of age.
Right.
You can be of age.
That's
for
the beauty
Chuck E.
of it.
Cheese,
We
but
don't
they're
ever
not
have to
gonna
grow
let a
out
kid
of
walk
it.
in by itself.
It's the beauty of it. We don't have to grow out of it.
That's true.
I think Dave & Buster's is the casino for kids. I think Chuck E. Cheese is a fun pizza place with weird, creepy mechanical monsters that sing and do things, and then the pizza is pieced together and not very good pizza. But like, I would definitely go Dave & Buster's over Chuck E. Cheese all day.
No, between the two, which one is the casino? Excuse me, for children? Chuck E. Cheese is for children. Dave & Buster's allows children. So between the two, Chuck E. Cheese is the casino for children.
Robert,
because all of the prizes at Chuck E. Cheese are designed for kids.
Have you been to fucking Dave & Buster's? Like, I guess there's that can openers and shit. So I mean, maybe not.
See,
most of the 90% of the prizes at Dave & Buster's are,
but not all of them.
You think a lot of adults besides me are getting
cool
Chinese
shit.
finger traps?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? I got 35 Chinese finger traps. I had 110 tickets, and you can't get anything cool unless you have 4,000.
Can you imagine, like, you sneak up behind people on the street where, like, you've got your finger in the finger trap, and then you sneak up behind them, grab their wrist really quick, and jam it onto their finger and pull, and then you're just, like, sitting there struggling with a stranger, and you're like, how are you going to get out of this? You're trying to pull away from me, and it's only making it tighter.
Now you're Chinese trapped.
And then they punch you in the face.
But they're still stuck to you because the trap.
Yeah.
So then you call the police. They go to jail.
Ooh, great way to meet chicks at a bar. You just Chinese finger trap yourself to them.
Not a bad idea. Maybe not in COVID, but wait till we got a vaccine or something, and then try that.
Guess we're stuck together. Can I buy you a drink?
Huh? What's your sign?
Or do you want to buy me a drink? Sorry, Robert. Right. What were you saying?
I was saying I've never been to a casino. Are there any, I don't know, what do you call them, games that you don't win money?
Most games you don't win.
Yeah, most games you're not winning.
Or where you can't win money.
Right. I was like, for me, most of them. But
not that I've seen. I mean, the bar, that could be a game.
That is a game. But a lot of times, depending on where you are, they have games at the bar.
I've only been to one casino. And I honestly didn't spend much time on the floor because I was like, there's a lot of people here. Fuck this. I'm watching Netflix in the room.
That is the most Pat thing ever.
See, because I'm thinking that no, Chuck E. Cheese is not a casino for children because there are games at Chuck E. Cheese that don't give tickets. That you just play for fun.
And Buster's has, like, you can play for coins in all of them. Or tickets.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure Buster's doesn't have any games?
Even like the racing games. Yeah, you get like 5 tickets.
Also, like I said, the casino does have the bar and restaurants. That could be the one where you don't win any.
David
But it's
Buster's
a game.
Has sort of a restaurant in it.
It's a game to see if they'll get your order right.
Or if you'll get it comped for free because you've lost so much money. That's another one.
I think there's another way to look at this question is Chuck E. Cheese just a casino for children, or is Chuck E. Cheese something else for children?
It's a pizza place and birthday party emporium for children.
It's a fever dream brought to life.
And nightmare as well.
There was skee ball and slides and a
giant rat
with crazy eyes
with pizza.
There's pizza everywhere and kids and the smell of urine. I don't know what happened.
There was a goat that played a banjo.
But I woke up sweating in my bed and my fever didn't break for another 4 hours.
Yeah, I think Dave & Buster's is definitely more casino for kids.
Or I disagree, but it is what it is.
Robert, you have to be like it's not Chuck E. Cheese.
I don't think it's either one of them. Not Buster's, not Chuck
So
E.
no,
Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese is not. Then that is how we can answer that question.
Okay.
All right. Our final question of the week comes from Uziel Lara at Lil Uzi 27. By the way, I did say every time the Giants win a game, first person in gets it, but it's got to be Giants positive. And Uziel hashtag go Cowboys. So like you're fucking not even gonna get a chance, bro. Like fucking no chance. I'm giving you the free passes to gravy thing when you fucking say that shit. We're gonna do that. Josh Tree won though. Josh Tree won. I will send you a pass to gravy shirt. Maybe the Gravy Giants type one. Although I don't know if I can say the Gravy football team that I root for one. That'll be the name of it. The Gravy football team that Alex roots for shirt. That's a really long description. Don't worry about it. It's fine. But yeah, so Josh Tree, if the Giants win, just say go Giants and then be Giants positivity at Alex J. Middleton, go Giants. Like that's not that hard to do. Not hashtag go Cowboys, Uziel. All right, buddy. None of that. But Uziel, I love you, minus that one thing. But other than that, Uziel says, at Lil Uzi 27 on Twitter, he says, BBQ or barbecue. I can't read it as barbecue. I always read it as BBQ.
You're an idiot.
But it's barbecue.
It's barbecue. Like
I know.
When you read that
like
as BBQ, your brain is broken.
When I say BBQ, you guys get it. So fuck you, Pat. Barbecue is what Uziel Lara says. He's barbecue. American/Texan/Mexican hibachi?
Not at all. Hibachi is cooked on an open surface.
Yeah, there's not like a flame right below it.
Oh, not only just that, is barbecue is covered. Like if you're cooking barbecue, it's usually in some sort of smoker or something like that, just not on top of a grill that's complete. Or even if it's on a grill, you're going to close that grill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think
hibachi is always within eye line.
And I also think like Texan and Mexican, like throwing that in there too. Like American would have made more sense. Is it like hibachi American or barbecue American hibachi? Because like Texas isn't the only place that does barbecue.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you can have like Mexican barbecue too. Like there's like stuff like that. But also
it's called barbacoa, Pat. The
big part of
it's called barbacoa. All right.
The big thing that separates it is in the middle of you, like let's say doing a brisket. You're not going to open it up, take your spatula, slice a piece off of it, and fling it across the room at your nephew. And
you know
hope
what
he
you're
catches
not
it in his
also going
mouth.
to do? You're not going to chop up a bunch of onions in varying sizes and shapes and then stack them on top of each other and then put some oil under it and then light it and go, it's a volcano! And then bang your little skillet on the thing and go, choo-choo, and move it along. You're not going to do that on a grill because it wouldn't work and it'd fall through.
That's true.
So unless you can do the volcano and the choo-choo train, which, I mean, if you go to a hibachi grill, like I know it's hacky and it's what everybody does. If you go to one and they don't do it, I don't care. I'm 31 years old. I'm still like, fucking do the fucking volcano. What is this shit?
You do the volcano, you toss shrimp in the air
or you toss shrimp. If you do one at least, I'll fucking give you the pass.
No, you have to do both.
I'd like both.
For me, you have to have the guy that has the fake squirt bottle.
He's like,
and it fakes you out with like ketchup.
It's like a little
and
ribbon shoots out of it. Yeah.
Yep.
And you're like, I thought you were you got me so good. And even though I'm an adult now, like when I see the red little bottle come at me, when I see the red bottle, I'm like, oh no! And you just play into it. You just play into it, and they're like, I got this guy, and I'm like, I've seen that 1,000 times, and I will fucking play that game all the time.
Last one I went to, it looked like a little dude standing there, and when he did it, it looked like it was going to be peeing out the oil.
I like that.
And he got me with that one. I was like, that's a funny bottle.
Then another thing you got to be able to do to make it a hibachi grill is, can you put whatever you're cooking around in the shape of a heart, and then put your little spatula under and go bup 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 bup. Yep. Like it's a heartbeat. It's a heartbeat. And then now Robert, this is wacky. Then they chop it in the middle. And they go, oh, it's a broken heart. And you're like, oh no. Honestly, being a hibachi chef at one point in my life seemed like the coolest job ever.
It is.
I'm not saying it's not. It still seems like a fucking badass job because you're like, I cook in front of people and they're like, it's like a stadium. It's like a chef stadium basically is where you are. Like
Also,
you're like
another
if you're
part
just
of
a
it.
cook at like a regular restaurant, like nobody sees you cooking. But like when you get the cool hat, you get the whole like cart you wheel out there and everything. Yeah, our fucking dude's here. Let's fucking go. Like I go to Benihana because I want to see what they fucking do, even if it's what I've already seen them be able to do. I don't give a shit.
I'm thinking part of what he might have thought about this too is that at both places you can sit at a table with strangers because some barbecue places will just have those really long tables that like
But
you
not
said,
all of them.
but not all, and also they're not cooking it right there at the table.
They got to cook it in front of you.
So hibachi, you got to have a big group, or else you're going to have some randoms at the same table as you.
Robert, have you been to Benihana?
I've never been to Benihana, but I have been to one of those places. Yeah, just once though.
Dude, are we doing like? I feel like we do like a pass the gravy. Like we'll do like a Christmas dinner with just the gang.
PT Bachi.
We'll take you out to Benihana, Bobby, and I'll be like, hey, did they do all of the things we have said though? Did they do the beating heart, the choo choo train, the volcano? Okay, all right. Because like I was about to say, if you haven't seen that, buddy, it's a spectacle.
It'll change your life.
I mean, and like I know it's coming. And it's like I don't give a shit. I'm excited. And then when they will put the table down, they put all the oil on the table to get it ready to go and make it hot. And then they start the fire, and you're like, "Whoa, that was a big flame! Wow!"
And then there'll be one person either in your group or just in one of the groups at the table that sees the hibachi come out and then looks at the man and goes, "Oh, they have sushi? That's what I'm going to get." You're not even going to order from the guy that's cooking it for you right there. Fuck you.
You go steak and shrimp, or steak and lobster,
shrimp, fried rice,
or shrimp and lobster, or whatever. If you don't have some sort of combination of the three of those, just fucking leave.
If you don't order something for that guy from the guy that's cooking it in front of you, why aren't you sitting at one of the other? Because they have other tables. Not everyone's at the grill.
They're called not fun tables because you don't get to see your food get cooked in front of you.
Dickheads.
My brother dated this girl that was a vegetarian one time. We
Gross.
went to Benihana for a family birthday thing. And she's allowed to do whatever she wanted. So, he had to like put her like rice in its own thing and cook it on its own little area. And it was just like, that is the shittiest looking food on this whole hibachi grill. And you're going to eat that. This all is yours. The fucking cucumber that is usually just the fucking random side thing that I'm stoked to eat because it's all fucking sauteed or whatever it is. It's like, that is your meal. This is what you did to yourself. Like, you did this. What a waste.
You are a rabbit.
I'm going to be eating steak and lobster right now. So I hope you like your fucking cucumber.
That just proves that your brother has really poor taste that he would date someone like that.
So
but he did.
But he didn't realize how deep it was, I guess. That's what she said. He said. I don't know. That's all I got, though. The hibachi grill. It is not an American, Texan, Mexican hibachi grill, but now I really want hibachi grill. Have you ever ordered Benihana to go?
No. Why would you do that?
It's always funny. Like, they did the choo-choo train?
They literally, the guy just rolled the table out to the curbside and then was just flipping you every piece of the meal into your car.
One time I got fried rice to go one time for my cousin, and I went up there and was like, but like y'all did all the cool stuff to it, right? And they're like, what? Did you make a heart out of it? And they're like, no. And I was like, like, can you take it back and do that? Well, you can take it back, right? I don't want to have to ask for a refund. I mean, I'm aware that I could not see it if you did, but I would just I can't wholeheartedly eat this if I do not know what has happened to this rice. Like, this was made into a heart and then a broken heart. Yay or nay? Because if it's nay, take it the fuck back. I will send it back, put it in a heart, fucking turn the grill back on, and send it back.
Well, and then they threw it at your car and walked back inside.
And that was when I was removed from that Benihana. I've never been allowed back at that specific one, which is why I go to other ones. There's multiple Benihanas in Houston, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. The Buffalo Wild Wings on Rice Boulevard and that Benihana, I'm not allowed in. That's fine. Okay? I've just accepted that with my life, all right? It's fine. There's plenty of other places, all right? Joke's on them. There's a lot of restaurants in this city. So ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, ha. Moving on, though. That's all we got. That actually ended up being a really fun question, though. Not that it wasn't going to be a good one anyways. It's just like that was – hibachi grills are shit, aren't they? Like, I want to go to one so bad right now.
Yeah, I'm really considering when this is done just driving straight to Mason Road where there's one.
Do it.
Just live streaming the whole thing. Gravy Gang. He's flipping the shrimp.
The people that haven't haven't listened to the podcast yet, like, I have no idea what this reference is. This is
Why
great.
is Pat so excited to be at? Because
then they'll listen to I get it. All right, that's it, guys. Hashtag PTG Answers. At Pastor Gravy Pod, I'm at Alex J. Milton. Pat's at Not Pat Dion. Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. Pastor Gravy, bro, we got a week left of it. Pat, you're going to be back with the Wednesday episode tonight. And hopefully the Thursday episode. We are a week away from finale night. I can't wait. Recent studies suggest with Robert and Sam on the Pastor Gravy Podcast Network. Go check that out as well. Give us both a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever else you're listening to us. Don't forget, we do give away a Gravy's Award for whoever gives us the best roast. Whoever roasts us the best in the Pass the Gravy reviews. You gotta go give us 5 stars and then just roast the fuck out of us. It's gotta be at least 5 words, but roast the fuck out of us, and whoever has the best one is going to win a Gravy's Award at our Christmas Spectacular going down Saturday, December 19th at Southern Star Brewing Company. At Pass Gravy Pod, at Robert Barbosa 03, at Not Pat Dion, and at Alex J. Middleton. You guys share us with a friend. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, Instagram, and liking our Facebook page. Until we talk to you guys next time, pass the gravy. Yeah. Bitches!
Now when the sun come up, I'll be there to say what up in the morning. Brush my teeth, find that clip I've been looking for since last night. I feel so caught up.